Welcome to the program, everyone. We're going live in seconds. All right, here we go.
Since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All righty, welcome one and all. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig, and it's Friday. I cannot believe already, thankfully so. We've got a lot to cover today on the program. You know, President Trump just announced this huge peace agreement with Hamas to disarm. And this is amazing. In Gaza. And, of course, I'll go through some more details as the show goes on about it. But, you know, the media are not going to want to report the significance of this because no matter what President Trump does, they're going to tell you that it's bad, that it's wrong, that it's this, it's that, and you know what I mean. You know, that meme I always reference that I like. You know, with there was this meme in Trump's first term. It was my favorite meme about Trump. It was Anderson Cooper on the left. It's Anderson Cooper reporting that it says Donald Trump develops cure for cancer. So Donald Trump develops cure for cancer, and then the next headline was Anderson Cooper says, Donald Trump puts doctors out of work. So nothing President Trump does, they're going to say, is anything other than bad. But Hamas is disarming in Gaza. And the significance of that is it's so big, it's so huge. Hamas is Iran. And Hamas has always been Iran. And Hamas, now I'm not the leading expert on Israel, Hamas, and Palestinian conflicts. I'm not some intelligence, CIA guy or something you see on these TVs. But I know what Hamas is, who they are, and how they've had so much influence over the Palestinian people. So Hamas is a front group for Iran that has been completely funded by Iran. And what Hamas has done over the years is to stay in power. They didn't just blow things up and kill people. Hamas was beloved by Palestinians, right? So the Hamas, what they did is they passed themselves off to the Palestinians as a charitable organization. And Hamas would pay for hospitals or schools or make sure that people, could feed their kids. They came off like a charitable group. And all of that was funded by Iran over the years. And this goes way back, forever and a day. You don't have to be some... And the reason I point this out, that I'm not one of these retired lieutenant general national security advisors, because I'm watching the analysis from these so-called geopolitical experts about this, and none of them are talking about this because, and if somebody has, I've missed it. The reason that Hamas has agreed to the President Trump's Board of Peace agreement to disarm in Gaza, and we have this incredible deal going on with Lebanon that's a part of it, is because Iran has been so destroyed by President Trump that they don't have any funding anymore. Iran was giving them all their money for their weapons that they were giving them, but also were giving them all their money that they were using to act like a charitable organization among the Palestinians. And Hamas, which is basically surrendering and dissolving, I mean, I can't even believe this is happening. I mean, it's crazy. Because we hear about Hamas so much, one of the worst terrorist organizations out there. And for Hamas to disarm and, for all intents and purposes, dissolve, it's a direct result of Iran being totally out of the picture. And what President Trump has done here is brought about Mideast peace. And I know we say, well, how can you say there's peace because of Iran? Outside of Iran, we have peace in the Middle East now, in places where it's never existed for more than 3 minutes. And what's going on in Iran right now, from our perspective, if you're in Iran, it's different because stuff's getting blown up every night. I was watching some videos this morning before I left my house of the latest bombing run, the latest videos that have been released of our bombing of Iran, and I saw one explosion. It looked like almost like a mushroom cloud right outside of some town somewhere in Iran. But from our viewpoint, the viewpoint of the United States, we're not at war with Iran. Iran is like a nuisance at this point, right? You know, they're a nuisance. They got some fanatical people that they aren't worried about life or death and are taking risking their lives all the time. But it's not really a war at this point anymore because they don't have the ability to wage it. They just have the ability to harass. So this country of Iran, which 6 months ago was a major country, and they're on a major, Iran is on at least some Iranians are on a major propaganda campaign that I have seen on YouTube, which I'll mention to you in just a moment, because I've seen some things pop up out of Iran on YouTube over the last couple days that are very strange to me, very strange. But 6-7 months ago, Iran was considered a superpower around the world and a modern country, and they were, outside of the United States, they were the major power in the Middle East. And I'm not going to go through everything they've done, And now what are they? You know what they are? You know what Iran is? They're an insurgency now, right? There's but it's not like the Iraq insurgency. George W. Bush did so many stupid things after he lied about WMDs. When we invaded Iraq over his WMD lie, and when we defeated the Iraqi army, they didn't capture them. They left the Iraqi army around, and the Iraqi army became the insurgency. But since we haven't had a ground invasion in Iran, we don't have an insurgency that's out there killing our troops or allied troops like the Iraqi insurgency was. That's why so many in the left were pushing for actual physical troops on the ground, because the left figure that if we have troops physically on the ground, there'll be the IEDs and all that'll be back, and that's their hope. But I don't know if the right word's insurgency with Iran. I think nuisance at this point. They're a nuisance. They're basic. I'll tell you what's happened. They're in a transition. Okay, maybe this is a better way to explain it. Iran is in a transition from a major country in the region with a major military force, and now they're being turned into like the Somali pirates, right? The Somali pirates. I never saw that Tom Hanks movie. I don't like Tom Hanks. I used to like Tom Hanks, but he's such a liberal jerk. I don't like Tom Hanks anymore. But I never saw that Captain Phillips, right, with Tom Hanks. But remember, the Somali pirates were always causing havoc. That's basically what Iran is now. They're transforming into this little group of pirates is basically what they're being turned into. And we'll take care of that at some point, I guess, well, we'll see. But Hamas disarming, President Trump, if any other person was president, especially a Democrat, oh my goodness, the entire news would stop. I was listening to the news this morning. They had some guy, didn't even mention that Hamas was backed by Iran, and then they're talking about grocery stores. I mean, come on. This is one of the most historic things involving Mideast peace that I've seen, and it's all because of what Trump did in Iran. See, this is, you take out this terror state, Iran, and we're seeing these dominoes fall around the world, and this is the first one. All right, so we're going to take our first break of the day, and it is Friday, which means open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Friday, you're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. You don't even have to comment on the things that I bring up. And the number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. I want to talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. By the way, they're open on Saturdays at Friendly Tire in Margate. You can get new tires out the door and on the road for as low as $75 a tire. That is absolutely amazing, isn't it? His prices are so low. I've been telling you, I got 4 new tires for less than what they wanted for one tire at the dealer, and I only needed 2 tires, but the prices were so good, I got 4 new ones because I wanted the tires to match. And I mean, it's amazing what Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire does. And when I say out the door and on the road, it means just that, because when you call Friendly Tire for a price, Friendly Mike, the price he gives you, that's it. There's nothing added on, okay? So, you know, he doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tires. And no other tire shop anywhere does that. You go on their website or whatever, you get this price, and then you go there and the tires are like almost twice as much. That doesn't happen at Friendly Tire in Margate. Give him a call. He has thousands of good used tires in stock, out the door and on the road for as low as $35 a tire, and he does tire repairs as well. Give Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. Go Kane 1. This
Genre of music called it.
Show with Brian Craig.
Open enrollment may be over, but that doesn't mean your Medicare questions are. If you're turning 65, new to Medicare, qualifying for a special enrollment period, you may still have options. Don't guess when it comes to your healthcare coverage. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors at 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. She'll walk you through your Medicare Advantage, your supplements, and your prescription drug plans. Then help you find coverage that fits your needs and your budget. You don't have to figure this out alone. Call Debbie today at 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you with your Medicare no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. I Will Advisors.
Hey guys, welcome everyone. This is our first break of the day.
Time of year again. Hurricane season has arrived.
Make sure your roof and everything underneath it is safe and secure this summer. Call Code Red Roofers today for a complimentary roof inspection. Yes, Code Red Roofers will come and inspect your roof free of charge. A small repair or preventative measure.
Hold on, guys.
Thousands down the line. Make sure your roof is ready for hurricane season with a free professional inspection from Code Red Roofers. The roofers who respond. Call 844-4-CODE-RED. That's 844-4-CODE-RED. CodeRedRoofers.com.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms.
What?
Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
In a market this volatile, the best move is staying informed. I'm talking directly to the CEOs drilling the projects that move the needle in gold, silver, and critical minerals. Don't miss an interview. Catch the Ellis Martin Report, 9:30 a.m. weekdays, right here on South Florida's True Oldies channel.
On the line is Jamie Lieback from Swift Tax. You know, Jamie, a lot of people missed the tax deadline on April 15th. Not only is it not too late for them to file, but they may have, with the new tax code, a huge refund coming that they're leaving on the table, right?
Absolutely, Brian. If you haven't filed your taxes and you've been avoiding it because you're worried about penalties or late fees, if you are anticipating a refund, give me a call. There's a good chance there is a
Hang in there, guys.
amount of money left on the table for you. Again, this is your money. You worked hard for it. Give me a call anytime. Jamie Lieback, Swift Tax.
Yeah, and remember, Jamie Lieback can help you with your taxes no matter where you are located in the United States. Give him a call right now, 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, you know, welcome back. I was just I was looking at the live chat. Do you know what it's like? I've been doing this so long, I tune it out. But when you go to work today, could you imagine what it's like if you're at work, no matter what you do, and there's a screen in front of you with thousands of people watching you and then making comments about what you're doing and everything else? Someone just wrote me, this is just one of many. I just saw this, but it cracked me up. A guy by the name of Mark. He says, "You are a talentless hack and you should be ashamed of yourself. But not smart enough for that are you." Then I guess at the end he talks like Yoda a little bit. It's just, some of the ones I can't read. But it's nice, isn't it? It's nice. I appreciate it. That's right. I mean, like if you're an Uber driver, could you imagine if in your windshield there was a live chat of people watching you and saying things? All right, now they got a few things I want to get to. The Democratic Socialist of America, which obviously are communist, which is important to understand, right? I mean, there's no getting around it. They're communist, and they are here to destroy our country, and in the process, they're going to destroy the Democrat Party. And on the face of it, destroying the Democrat Party is a good thing. But, the Democrat Party is just a terrible organization. There's nothing in the United States that has come out of the Democrat Party that's good. Nothing. Nothing. The Democrat Party is an evil party. I'm not going to go through their history, but even still today, I mean, look what they're advocating for today. They're upset that Donald Trump is deporting rapists and murderers from the country. That upsets them, right? How dare you arrest these rapists and murderers and deport them, right? How dare you deport these human traffickers? How dare you take off the road people that aren't qualified to drive big rigs that are getting involved in these vehicular homicides? How dare you do this? I mean, the things they're advocating for today. The Democrat Party is the party of death. It's just a matter of who is dying because of them. It used to be unborn babies, and we overturned Roe v. Wade, so there's a lot less of that now, right? A lot of women in our country were being raped and murdered. We have the lowest murder rate in 126 years now. Now we got these vehicular homicides that we didn't know about, really, by the illegals, and they're advocating against that. So there's nothing that the Democrats have ever advocated for or stood up for that didn't involve death. All right? I mean, they're just the party of death. Remember Dr. Death, Dr. Kevorkian? They are the political party of death. And the Democrat Socialists of America aren't interested in making the Democrat Party great again. They want to destroy the United States. And if you don't believe me, I mean, look at any country where the communists took over. Where did the communists take over in a peaceful way? It's always been through a violent revolution. And what happened in Spain yesterday with these Muslim invaders in that Spanish town in North Africa? Oh my goodness. I mean, I feel so sorry for the Spaniards in that town, but they have these woke liberal leaders that just gave amnesty to how many of these Muslims? I was watching that video yesterday of the Muslim invaders. That was an invasion, and if you looked at all of them, there were no women, no children, and no middle-aged men. Even it was all men that are of military age, and it was like a beach invasion. It was like Normandy. Never seen anything like that before. Really, was it? I mean, and I'm hearing that the liberal woke Spanish government that just gave amnesty to all these Muslims recently, and they say that's what inspired this. They're calling on the military. Does Spain even have a military? I'm serious about that because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time Spain was involved in any real fighting was in the Spanish Civil War in the 1930s. They sat out the Second World War. and whatever military that Spain has is probably just for show, like parades, right? So do they even have a military? And whatever military that Spain has, do they have the ability to take whatever military they have and mobilize them to North Africa? I don't think so. They would probably do better if they send bullfighters to that city than their military. They'd get there faster and they'd take on the bulls. They could take on these people. But that's frightening. And I got to tell you, you know what I was worried about when I saw that? The women in that city. I see these young men coming over like madmen, and they're doing interviews. The Spanish television is there interviewing them. One guy says, oh, I have hepatitis C, and I was facing a prison sentence in the Netherlands, so I came here. Another guy said he's got a murder rap somewhere else. I mean, they were doing interviews, and they were talking. And I'll tell you, and I was thinking about the women and girls in that town. Holy smokes. I could only imagine what happened when the sun went down in that. I don't want to know, honestly. I don't. The poor Spaniards, NATO, you think the Spanish government wishes they would have paid their NATO dues now? It's pretty scary, isn't it? And they can't repel them. And they're so woke in Spain. They're so woke in Spain, they'll probably give amnesty to all these guys too. That was an invasion. What's happening in this country with the Muslims is colonization, right? Mamdani, the mayor of New York, some other members of the squad like Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, this guy Ahmed that's running for the Senate in Michigan, right? And they're doing it through the Democratic Socialist of America. Some of them, like Mamdani, they're not socialist or communist. It's about the Muslim takeover. What the Muslims are doing, and these people don't want to say this. It's in front of our face. Do you know that they're fighting the Crusades still? They're fighting the Crusades. That's exactly what's happening here. And I'd like to know who organized this invasion of Spain. How did that just happen? We're going to take our bottom of the hour break, and then when we get back from the break, I'll take the calls. Now, again, it is Friday. That means open phones, open Mega Mike Friday. And on Friday's show, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. The number's toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. And I want to talk to those of you that are suffering from neuropathy or have a loved one who is suffering from it. You want to call Lighthouse Medical in Pompano. They have a treatment for neuropathy that works, and they have a treatment for neuropathy that lasts. And no matter what stage of neuropathy you're in. See, I didn't realize, Steve had neuropathy, I thought, really super bad. Well, it was bad to him because he was the one suffering. But what I realized when I was over at Lighthouse Medical in person and met some of our listeners who were over there for neuropathy treatment is Steve was in the late, early to mid stage of neuropathy when he went over there for treatment. And the neuropathy only gets worse if you don't go to Lighthouse Medical and get it treated. And I'll tell you, they're saving lives over there at Lighthouse Medical with their neuropathy treatment. And I saw one of our listeners, he just went over there, and his daughter brought him in. She saved her dad's life. This guy, because his neuropathy was so bad, he was dizzy all the time. Have you ever been dizzy, Mike? You ever get suffering from dizziness? Can you imagine being dizzy all the time? And you fall, you hit your head, boom. Good friend of mine and Steve's a few years ago, he fell and hit his head and died on the spot. He didn't have neuropathy. He tripped. And as you grow older, there's even more likelihood that you will, it'll be the last thing you do. Call Lighthouse Medical. Mention you heard them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Periods of clouds and sunshine, good chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Daytime high in the middle 90s with a heat advisory for Palm Beach County from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. And tonight, clouds breaking up and the overnight low in the upper 70s. Saturday and Sunday.
Right? And they're doing it through the Democratic social guy because his neuropathy was so bad. He was.
Weather brought to you by All-Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All-Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, True Oldies Traffic Check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Construction in St. Lucie County, I-95 northbound, mile marker 125. That's near Glades Cutoff Road. That's County Road 70. In Port St. Lucie, the right lane, including the northbound exit ramp to Midway Road, is closed. A little further south, more construction in St. Lucie County, I-95 northbound, mile marker 114 through mile marker 116. That's Becker Road right through Gatlin Boulevard. Lanes are blocked, so use caution. From the traffic center, I'm Ray Thomas.
Catch your traffic brought to you by PBKC. Freedom, fireworks, and high hands. It's all happening this July in the Poker Room at PBKC. The excitement never stops with high hands every 15 minutes, every day from 9 a.m. to midnight. Plus a $15,000 cash giveaway and $100,000 progressive weekends. Grab your friends for the $10 poker party Friday, July 31st. It's a great way for beginners to experience tournament play. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker for just a $5 minimum all day, every day. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
When someone you love needs more support than you can give at home, it can be hard to know where to turn. At the Harrison Assisted Living and Memory Care Stewart, we're here to help your family find peace of mind. Our compassionate caregivers provide personalized assistance, meaningful engagement, and a safe, comforting community your loved one can truly call home. Let us walk this journey.
All right, if you're on hold, hang in there, guys. I'll take some calls when we get back.
Hi, it's Dr. Philip Appleton. You've been hearing my commercials about bye-bye pain, my laser weight treatment, but today's commercial and today's spot is going to be on Tom Laporta, Laporta Roofing. What an experience I've had with him and his company. They've done a few of my friends' houses and my son and my house. There's never a downtime. They're old school, which means call them up, they'll be there. How many times do you call somebody up and they never show up, or they give you an excuse, weather, traffic, whatever? Tom Laporta, what a class act, the workmanship, the magnificent teamwork they have. I recommend them 100%.
Give Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing a call. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. 954-604-4602. LaportaRoofing.com. They'll never sell you a roof you don't need.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 49 years on the air.
All right. Welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. All right, let's go to the phones. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff. What's up?
Hey, when you're talking to the liberals that call in, if us as conservatives called in a liberal show and started speaking the truth, it'd shut us right off. The difference with you and conservatives is we try to engage them, and a lot of times it's frivolous because they won't listen to truth, but at least we try to engage them. And that's the difference between these liberals in the chat room running their mouth. They'll never call in, but when they do, Brian, they never have a specific point to make with truth. And then when you ask them a direct question. They beat around the bush and don't try to answer the question. And that's what makes this show so good. I really like the engagement with them. Sometimes I think you go a little too long. That's my personal,
Yeah.
read to that. But they don't. I don't think they can see that you give them a platform, a chance to tell what they think. And that's how I think we can reach a lot of liberals.
I'll tell you, every single time that I do a personal appearance, there'll be at least one person, usually more than one, but at least one person who's a listener for many years, and they'll tell me, I used to be a listener. I used to be a liberal. I hated you. I listened to you for, 5 years, 10 years, 6 months, however long, and now I'm conservative. I hear that all of the time. All the time.
And Brian, I realize that's what Steve was teaching you all these years. I believe that was, and I never understood it until those liberals come forward. And like my dad, when he realized what Obama was, he was so upset that he had voted for him the first time and didn't vote for him again. And that's what we want to see, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's called red pilling. That's what we talk about, red pilling. But you know what red pilled more Democrats than anything else? It was Butler. When the Never Trumpers shot President Trump in Butler, that's when so many Democrats woke up and said, you know what? These MAGA guys, they're right. They're after this guy. They thought we were paranoid before. That did a lot of red pilling. The MAGA movement's larger today than it has ever been.
Right. And I was talking to a liberal last week or so, and I brought up Butler and, them trying to kill President Trump. And you know what he said? Oh, it just grazed his ear. And you know what I said? What if someone shot a bullet at your house, your head, and grazed you? You wouldn't be saying that.
Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine? I've had paper cuts that felt like knives slashing me just because it grazed his ear. It still hurts. My dad got shot in Vietnam, and he told me that and any of you out there been shot, I don't know if you've ever heard it, but when my dad told me getting shot felt like, now he got shot with an AK-47, but,
Wow.
but he said it felt like he got shot in the leg. He said it felt like I was getting hit in the leg over and over with a guy pounding my leg with a metal baseball bat. That's what he said it felt like. I'm like, oh, well, I don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? So I imagine even getting grazed has got to hurt like a son of a gun.
Yes. Just the burn alone.
Oh.
That the burning.
And
burns you.
And it could also blow your eardrum out, even when you're outside when it's that close.
Well, in that accident I went through, it blew up my left ear, and it's never been the same. So
I'm going to the gun range with some of my friends that are listeners that go on our MAGA cruises, and we're all bringing our guns, and I'm bringing my Glock and my 38. One guy, he's bringing an AK-47, and another guy's bringing his AR-15. So we're forming this MAGA gun club from our. I'm very excited. We're going to a really nice gun range too, where they have like snacks and sodas, and you can eat. It's going to be a fun day. I haven't been shooting in a while. I know. I've got so much ammunition because I loaded up during the lockdowns, right? And I've got so much ammunition, especially for my 38. I gotta go out there and start shooting it.
Well, we have that in Maine. It's called the woods. 90%, 80% of Maine is woods.
Yeah. By the way, this guy that they replaced Graham Plattner with, I forgot his name. What's his name? The guy that the Democrats have replaced Graham Plattner with. Did you?
Troy Jackson.
He's not married. He has a life partner. She's his second cousin. Okay?
I did not know
his second cousin, and that means they have the same grandparents.
That's right.
Right? Just telling. I'm physically ill. That makes me sick. Second cousin, and I know some people are going to say the Roosevelts were cousins. They were like 10th cousins. You know, I mean, they were second cousin, and I'm trying to figure out second cousins. Like my second cousins would be my cousin's kids, right?
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
so my cousin's kids are my second cousins. So, what's this guy's name? Troy. What's his name?
Jackson.
Troy Jackson. Okay, so they replaced a Nazi with a guy who's having sex with his second cousin. What's up with these Democrats in Maine?
Well, get this too, Brian.
It's pretty gross, isn't it?
They're running this ad of Graham Plattner thanking Troy Jackson for his support, even after he came up with the Nazi tattoo.
Who wants the endorsement of a Nazi?
They're running these ads. It's all over Maine of how he supported Graham.
So who wants an endorsement from a Nazi? Well, I guess a guy who's married to his second cousin. I mean, you know, or they're not married. They just have sex with each other, you know, and sleep together, I guess. But I think that's really gross. Don't you? That's gross.
When we think the Democrats can't get any lower, there's this.
And I'll tell you, when it comes to cousins, and second cousins, I consider my cousins like brothers and sisters, and you can tell we're related. We look alike, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I can tell my cousins, because my cousins are my age, you know, around my age. Their kids, I can tell we're related by looking at them. So what kind of guy is having sex with a second cousin? Is that legal?
I don't know. What second cousin is removed twice or something like that.
Second cousin. I don't. I mean, it's gross.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to look up to see if the guy's even from Maine.
Okay, I've got an article about it. Okay, hold on, I'll pull it up. Let me pull this up because second cousin to me is second cousin. I'll pull it up and read through it. All right, Jeff. I appreciate the call. Let me know if he's even from Maine. Good question. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Me, Ronan Lee, bro.
Okay, bro. What's up?
How's it going, man? By the way, second cousins aren't related by grandparents. They're related by great-grandparents.
Well, that's still too close. Okay. So, no, that's not necessarily true. Because I'm thinking about my second cousins now, right? My second cousins, and when I think of second cousins, I'm thinking about my cousin's kids. So I have the same grandparents as my cousins, right? So my grandparents are their great-grandparents. You're telling me that's okay with you?
No, I'm just saying that.
Is it gross? Is it gross to you? And by the way, great-grandparents are grandparents. I was lucky enough to know some of my great-grandparents. I didn't say great-grandma, I said grandma. But, you know, and grandpa. But is that kosher to you? Do you think that's okay for some guy to be having sex with his second cousin?
It's kind of like your parents' cousins, you know what I'm saying? But
well, is that gross? I think it's gross.
It happens down south all the time.
I don't know. I'm as down south as you can get. I'm in South Florida, and I don't know anyone that's having sex with their cousins. No.
Well, you know that. It goes. But anyway, it's I had a question for you, man.
Oh, okay.
Because I know we both believe in democracy. You believe in it a little bit more, but you said that trying to conglomerate, I guess is the word, trying to make a mixture of the best governments isn't something you're interested in. And I'm just saying, how do you solve the fact that we keep going bankrupt? Usually,
what you're broke? You're bankrupt?
No, the country.
The country's not bankrupt.
What do you mean? We're in debt.
Debt does not debt. I mean, do you own a car?
When you're in debt,
oh, hold on a second. Do you own a car?
Yeah.
Is it financed?
Yeah.
You're in debt.
Yeah.
Okay. So so what does that mean? I mean, is debt a bad thing?
I can explain it.
Okay.
It's one thing to be in debt. It's one thing to be bankrupt. And the thing is, when I say bankrupt, it's when the dollar doesn't hold as much value as it did. The only thing that's holding up now is the fact it's the world currency.
Well, okay, two things here, because it is open phones on Fridays, okay, but I'll talk about both things: the value of the dollar and debt. Do you know why the United States is in debt? There's one reason.
Overspending and other things.
It's more specific.
Well, go ahead.
The Democrats' Medicaid fraud operation, like the Somali pirates of Minneapolis, the fake hospices in California, the national debt is all because of the Democrats and these fraud operations that Nick Shirley and Doge uncovered. And President Trump, no, I'm responding to your other things. So President Trump is wiping out the Medicaid fraud that the Democrats have. So he's wiping out the debt there. And so far as the value of the dollar, you want the dollar to be weak. You don't want it to be strong. Do you know why that is? Especially now with what the president's doing. So you don't know the basics about the economy. You're very you don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to finances. You want the dollar to not be of a high value. You want the dollar to be worth less. Do you know why?
Go ahead.
Okay. One of the things that President Trump is doing right now, that he's been doing the last year and a half, is the exact reason you want the dollar to be valued lower, because it brings in foreign investment, right? So you want Toyota, you want Honda, you want BMW, you want Mercedes, you want these factories to come into the United States and build factories and create real jobs. If the dollar value is reduced slightly, it means their money is going further. They're more likely to invest and build factories. If the dollar value is too high, their money doesn't go far enough when they come over here to build these new plants and things. So you want the dollar to be a little less valuable.
Oh, okay. Well,
See, you guys didn't know that I know about economics, right? I know a little bit about economics. I'm not stupid. I mean, but these are just common sense things.
But by the tune of like what? I want to say like from like 700 billion to 3.1 trillion.
You're throwing out numbers. The numbers you're throwing out are so large that the human mind cannot comprehend that amount of money.
I know, I just
But the U.S. debt is all
I can comprehend
the U.S. I don't think you can comprehend these things. You had these strong opinions that were based on ignorance, but the national debt is 100% because of the Democrat fraud operation with Medicaid.
But you didn't address what I said.
I addressed everything you said. You gotta go. I'm late for the break, so you gotta hurry.
Okay, 665, about 700 billion, to 3 trillion under Trump. Barack lowered it from 1.4 to 585.
I'm going to listen. The phone lines are open, but I can't have you bore the audience. No, you don't even. The guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor could order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. What's that?
Dr. Phil Appleton, I'm a chiropractic physician.
When it comes on TV, I'm not gonna. I think they've done Spider-Man enough.
Physician here in Pompano Beach for 40 years.
I told you Steve went out to dinner with Stan Lee. He went out to dinner with Stan Lee, and
heard
in
that
New
you
York,
have to live
and
with it. Well, there's a lot of times you don't have to live with it. I've had great
Al Goldstein.
success.
Look
with
up Al
helping
Goldstein.
people.
I'll
My
tell you everything.
testimonials are marvelous with patients.
Look up
They
Al
love the
Goldstein,
treatment. There's no
and
injections.
you'll have a
There's
new
no
understanding
medication. There's no surgery. There's none of
Stan
that.
Lee and
It's
what he was
strictly
into.
either the laser,
I'll
the
check it out now.
acupuncture I do, or the shockwave therapy
Yeah.
I do.
I was
6
shocked.
days a week. Come in for the
Let's
free
see about the dinner with
consultation
him.
and be willing to look at
So
you
now,
and help you.
now I've really got my
Advantage of
interest
that
on that.
no-charge
What the heck?
consultation
Yeah,
with Dr.
Steve knows a lot of
Hamilton.
people.
Remember, appointments are not
When you
necessary
say
and
that,
walk-ins
I'm
are
curious,
welcome
'cause I know
even
Steve
on
was like-
Saturdays.
How did he know him?
954-973-0710. 954-973-0710.
When you see who Al Goldstein is, you'll know how they knew each
And
other.
online,
Is that one of the
AppletonCairo.com.
guys who helps
Hi, I'm Sloan Smith.
No.
We love our Florida sunshine.
No.
But
Dude,
our
look,
house
I'll just.
definitely not.
No.
At All Year, we
No.
offer same-day AC and plumbing service and installation.
But there's a guy, there's a
Yes,
listener
all
who
year.
I've met a couple
Need
times.
help today?
He
Yes, all year. Need plumbing help?
because everybody retires to
Yes,
Florida.
all year.
He is
We're
the
South Florida's
artist.
#1 for
He
comfort
he
because
started
our
out
family
with
is
Stan
serving your
Lee
family
and on
all
the
year.
original Captain
Call us
America
today at
comic
833 all
and
year.
everything.
That's
Like
833
exactly what
And
comes out
listen
of
to
you.
him. Yeah, but no,
You're on the
but
air.
that,
What's your name?
yeah,
Where are you
but
calling
yeah.
from?
My name is Sandra. I'm calling from
Al
Delray Beach.
Goldstein.
The Barry Siegel Law Group.
There's
is
probably a
doing
lot of names,
wonderful work for me,
so
and I was very particular.
look up,
I'm a professional myself, and I went to about
he's in
3
the
or 4
he
attorneys
was in
prior.
the
They wanted to do
adult
what they wanted
business.
to do. They didn't want to add anything extra. But
They used to
Barry
play.
tailored
He
it
was
to my
he was so
needs.
famous.
It's
They
not
had
only the
you know
trust.
you know who
There's
Danny
so
DeVito
many
is.
other end-of-life
He used to
documents,
play
the
him on
living
Saturday
will,
Night
the
Live.
will, and I tailored each
Goldstein.
one of them to my liking, and they were
That was
wonderful
Steve's
and
friend.
always polite.
No, that
And
makes
not
sense.
only
It's
that,
still-
when you finish
yeah.
your documents and
Because I know
if
you
you,
guys-
you leave this world,
Yeah.
your beneficiaries could go there and they'll explain everything to them, which is a big
So he was
deal.
pretty
The
famous
Siegel
too.
Group is above and beyond any
But I
other
had
attorney
all new
that I have
when he
ever
told me that
contacted.
Stan Lee
Plus,
is
they
not
give
the.
you a big portfolio at the end with a leather-bound documents. It's beautiful.
Give the Siegel Law Group a call, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
Oh right, yeah. During the break, Mike brought up he was talking about the new Spider-Man movie, and I was telling I was telling Mike that Steve Kane had gone out to dinner with Stan Lee in New York with Al Goldstein. Anybody remember Al Goldstein? Oh yeah, Al Goldstein. I can't. He had a publication, but if I said the name of the publication, Mike, you would have to dump me. I can't. I could not say the name of his publication on the air. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you
Oh, hey,
calling
great.
from?
Hey, it's Chris. I'm calling from Los Angeles.
All right, Chris in L.A. What's up?
Yeah, your last caller was a bit of a dum-dum, so I'm sorry for that.
Are you going to be? You're the smart liberal.
No. Listen, man. Like, I think there
There we
needs to
go.
be less division. I think we need less, us versus them. Less, like, dude, we're both Americans. I think if we talked for long enough, we'd find more things that we'd agree with each other on than we disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see? How do you feel about Elon Musk?
I think he's awesome.
Did you see his recent interview with The Economist?
No.
Okay, yeah, he did like an hour-and-a-half interview with a journalist from The Economist, and in the first 10 minutes, she asks him, why do you think people should buy your stock in SpaceX?
Uh-huh.
What do you think the world is going to look like in 10 years? And the way he answered, he had kind of the tone of every con man that I've ever heard in my entire life. Basically, he said, the future in 10 years is going to be abundance, and in 10 years, I don't think you're going to need money because of the amount of artificial intelligence outweighing human intelligence and the level of
I mean, I don't know. I didn't see the interview.
There.
I didn't hear, but I know this. Okay, I didn't hear the interview, and you're paraphrasing. So
that's basically it.
But I'll tell you this. Okay, Elon Musk is the richest African American, right? He's the richest African American. You knew that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's technically African American.
Not technically, he is. He's from South Africa. He is from Africa. He is African. Now he's an American, and he's the richest person.
He's not black, though.
Not everyone from Africa is black. What are you, racially stereotyping?
No, he's from South Africa, though.
That's Africa, but Africa. That's the tip of Africa. I'm in South Florida. Am I not an American? I'm at the tip of America. I'm at like the bottom of America. He's an African. Charlize Theron's from South Africa too. She's African American. But not only is Elon Musk the richest African American, I just wanted to make sure you were a liberal, and that certainly proved it because you're so uncomfortable. Only blacks are African. No, I don't think so. I don't care what your point was. I'm responding to what you said about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is also the richest man in the world. He's the richest man who's ever lived, and he's the first trillionaire. So when it comes to things involving money,
he was the first trillionaire.
Yeah. When it comes to things involving money, that's a pretty big deal. When it comes to things involving money, Elon Musk has a greater understanding than you or me. So when someone who is the when someone is the first trillionaire in the world, the richest, not only is he the richest man on Earth, if you want to be really specific, he's the richest man in the galaxy or the universe, as far as we know. So, and the richest man who ever lived. So so the point of that is, okay.
Yeah, he's got the most money, so he should know the most about money. Now
Excuse me, hold on. Excuse me, no. When you typical liberal, well, because you're a liberal idiot who doesn't know. When you are talking about,
we've been talking for 10 seconds, man. How are you just going to label me a typical liberal idiot? I told you one thing.
Your level of discomfort over me calling him an African American.
Because of one thing.
Yeah, you're in LA and you're a liberal lunatic.
I know a bunch of people from South Africa. They have a very specific.
And they're African too. They're African too. But you're not going to get me off this. When it comes to money matters, if you're not listening to the richest man who's ever lived, you're an idiot because he understands things about money that you and I couldn't even comprehend. So how can you? How could you or me?
The world is the best chef.
That's not the same thing. Because the fattest man in the world is not into making food.
You think the fattest man in the world knows the most about food?
The fattest man in the world could be fat because of side effects from medications he's on. He's not in the business of manufacturing the best food. Elon Musk has done something. Excuse me.
Man in the world could be rich.
Elon Musk has done something that no one else has been able to do. He became a trillionaire. So if you yeah,
all right, fine. I'll agree with you on that. So do you think that it's then concerning that he's saying we won't need money in 10 years? How do you feel about that?
I didn't hear him say it, and I'm not going to take your word that he
said it. You can pull it. You can just look up Elon Musk, the economist.
Well, I'm not going to just look it up, but someone like Elon Musk, okay?
I'll pull it up. I'll send it to you.
Hold on a second. Elon Musk could go through life and live very well without money. He doesn't need money. Do you know why?
He said no one's going to need money in 10 years.
He doesn't need money because he is so famous. If he went to a restaurant and signed the receipt without paying, that receipt's more valuable than the cost of the meal. You know what I mean? So he doesn't need money.
Right, but do you think it's concerning that he said that?
I don't know. I didn't hear him say it, and I don't know the context.
It was basically what I said before. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
By the way, how's the traffic on the LA freeway now that President Trump has deported so many of the illegals? My daughter's in LA, and she was telling me the other day that the ride back from the airport was much easier than it was last time she was out there. And I told her, ice, baby, ice.
See, here's where it's going to surprise you. I think ICE should be able to.
No, I didn't ask you about it. I don't. Who cares? I was asking about the traffic. Is the traffic in LA?
It's the same.
That's not what I'm hearing. That's not what I'm hearing.
Drive.
Then why, if they don't drive, why California give them driver's licenses so often?
So they can vote.
Oh, okay. and drive
Yeah.
because there's illegals killing people all over the country in traffic accidents with California driver's licenses.
Oh yeah, no, you're right about that, dude. That's actually insane. Like my girlfriend got rear-ended by an undocumented person.
Wow, a liberal guy in New York with a girlfriend. That's amazing. So you're heterosexual. In Los Angeles? A liberal man in Los Angeles who's heterosexual. Oh my goodness. You must have a lot of girlfriends because you're in short supply. A heterosexual liberal man in LA. There aren't too many of you
I'm
left.
beating away with a stick. No, but this is insane actually, because if you get rear-ended by someone who's undocumented, you have no recourse in terms of suing.
You can't. That's everywhere. You can't sue anyone who doesn't have any assets, right? Or insurance.
Yeah,
Listen, I got to run. I appreciate the call. We'll take our break for that. A straight heterosexual man who's a liberal in Los Angeles. I'm in shock. He might be like the last one. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. Calls on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back right after this.
WDJA AM Delray Beach. Also heard in St. Lucie County on 1590 WPSL Port St. Lucie and in Martin County on 1450 WSTU Stewart. We are South Florida's home for the true oldies channel. From the Code Red Roofers Weather Center, Code Red Roofers, roofers who respond. Call 844-4CODE-RED, CodeRedRoofers.com. Here's your oldies forecast.
Periods of clouds and sunshine, good chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Daytime high in the middle 90s with a heat advisory for Palm Beach County from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. And tonight, clouds are breaking up and the overnight low in the upper 70s. Saturday and Sunday, over 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms. High Saturday and Sunday into the lower 90s. The overnight lows in the upper 70s.
Weather brought to you by Code Red Roofers, roofers who respond. Serving South Florida for over 20 years, promoting integrity over profitability, and focused on doing right over being right. Protect your home or office today with Code Red Roofers. Call 844-4CODE-RED, CodeRedRoofers.com. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Obstruction on the highway in Palm Beach County, I-95 northbound, mile marker 66, Forest Hill Boulevard in West Palm Beach. No roadblock mentioned. A purple alert issued out of the Florida Highway Patrol out of Lake Worth. Be on the lookout for a blue Toyota Highlander, license plate DR84GN. It's a Florida plate. If you happen to see that vehicle, dial star 347. From the traffic center, I'm Ray Thomas.
That's your traffic, brought to you by PBKC. It's a great week to visit PBKC. Catch all the top horse racing action, including the excitement of Saratoga, the $1 million Arlington Million, and more. Watch, wager, and win in style at the Paddock Restaurant, featuring all the OTB and sports action on over 140 HD TVs and 3 giant screens, plus delicious food and friendly service. And this fall, don't miss incredible tribute dinner show celebrating the music of Queen, CCR, the Beach Boys, ABBA, the Bee Gees, and more. Get all the details now at pbkennelclub.com.
Hi, Tom Laporta here. We are Laporta Roofing, a family business since 1983. You are our customer. In other words, our boss. We are here for and because of you, not the other way around. The 2026 rainy season is upon us. Because we haven't had a hurricane in 2 years, all the storm chaser roofing companies have gone out of business, leaving only the strongest and the best contractors. At Laporta Roofing, we will never sell you a roof you don't need. We don't have salesmen or commissions, so we will never pressure you to sign a contract.
Iran's going very well.
Deposits
Thanks for
are not
asking.
required.
We've won the
At
war.
Laporta Roofing, you will always come first. We must earn your trust.
Yeah, if you
and
want to
we
hear
will.
all that, you got to go to the
So call me
other,
on my cell
my
at
main live stream.
954-604-4602, or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
Go to the main live stream and you can hear all that.
Steve Kane, I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Sandra. I'm calling from Delray Beach. The Barry Siegel Law Group did such wonderful work for me, and I was very particular. I'm a professional myself, and I went to about 3 or 4 attorneys prior. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to add anything extra, but Barry tailored it to my needs. And it's not only the trust. There's so many other end-of-life documents, the living will, the will, and I tailored each one of them to my liking, and they were wonderful and always, always polite. And not only that, when you finish your documents and you leave this world, your beneficiaries could go there and they'll explain everything to them, which is a big deal. The Siegel Group is above and beyond any other attorney that I have ever contacted. Plus, they give you a big portfolio at the end with a leather-bound documents. It's beautiful.
Give the Siegel Law Group a call, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Calls on hold standby. It is the second hour already. I can't believe it. And being Friday, it is open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And on Friday, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. You don't even have to comment on the topics we bring up now. I was listening to the traffic report, and they said there's a purple alert. Did you hear that? A purple alert? Is that somebody driving? Okay, I did not know what a purple alert was, so I looked it up. Okay? This was the top of the hour, okay? A purple alert is an emergency public notification used to locate missing adults who have mental, cognitive, intellectual, or developmental disabilities, a brain injury, or other physical emotional disability not related to substance abuse, excluding individuals with Alzheimer's or dementia. Those would be silver alerts. So that's somebody in a car that's missing? I hope not. They have mental, cognitive, intellectual, development disabilities, brain injuries, physical and emotional disabilities. Oh my goodness. I hope they're not in a car. I hope they're not missing in a car. I've never heard purple alert. I thought a purple alert was like a missing gay. I guess that'd be a lavender alert. I don't know. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Good morning.
Oh my goodness.
I had a friend years ago that his wife went shopping. They lived in Margate, and he got a phone call. She couldn't remember how to get home.
Oh my goodness. The other day, my mother's retired. I called my mom in the morning when I got off the air. She didn't answer. I called her like an hour later. She didn't answer. And then in the afternoon, I called her in the afternoon. She didn't answer again. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I called my daughter in L.A. My daughter's visiting in L.A. And because she has she has like the numbers of my mom's neighbors, and she called my mom's neighbor, and so my mom's neighbor told, and then my daughter called me back and said, okay, she's going to go knock on the door. And then when the phone rang, it was my mom. And I got to tell you, when people get old, you got to keep an eye on them. She was okay. Mom was okay. My mom was okay, but I was getting nervous. I didn't want to have a Dr. Laura incident. Remember what happened with Dr. Laura?
Yeah.
But Dr. Laura's mother died, and she didn't know it for a week, right?
Yeah, Brian, I want to bring something up that really I want every liberal to listen to this, okay? I want first of all, when you're a movie guy, and I know you used to go to movies quite a bit. You don't go as much anymore. Most people don't. They have the movies in their house. But, everyone watched previews. And in the previews of a movie, they usually show you what the movie is about, and they show you the most exciting parts of the movie. Now, I'm bringing that up because I want to thank the country of Morocco. I want to thank the continent of Africa. And most of all, I want to thank the left-wing, communist, liberal government of Spain. Because what they have done is the coming attractions that you would see in a movie theater for all of us. If you elect these left-wing crazy people that are running, that want to eliminate borders and police and everything else. I want you to know, my wife's brother was in Venezuela and had to leave because of Maduro and that government, and they went to Spain, and he hates it.
Well, a couple things about Spain, and this is important stuff. Okay, I didn't see any reports on what happened last night. I hope.
I can tell you that's why I called you.
I hope the women are okay, because those young guys and and Spanish women are beautiful, especially on a coastal town like that. And I feel, I mean, I was really worried about the women and the girls in that town. That's number one. But did you have some updates on that? Any assaults or murders?
I'm going to let you.
I saw some guys. I saw some guys trying to break into someone's house.
Right. I want everyone to hear this. Okay. The left-wing government of Spain took away all weapons so they can't protect themselves. Now imagine you have you're in an apartment in Spain. You're worried about taking your children to school the next day, and all of a sudden, and that's the start of the morning. Then you see this invasion of all men, not families, all men. And then the sun goes down, and the media doesn't show what's going on.
That's exactly right.
They are burning cars. They are breaking into homes because they have no shelter, nowhere to eat. The people inside the buildings have no defense. It's total chaos. It's out of control. There are murderers in the streets. And it's like you have no idea. They're breaking into every supermarket.
And I'll tell you something. What happened yesterday in Spain, although this is not Spain proper, it's right across the Strait of Gibraltar, North Africa, but still it's Spain. This is what was going on at our southern border for the 4 years of the Autopin administration. Same thing. Yeah. It's pretty scary, isn't it?
This is what's going to happen. Because what do you do if somebody's trying to break in your house and you don't have a weapon? Mm-hmm. What do you do? What do you people think? What is wrong with
pray?
You pray.
You pray.
You pray because you're not going to make it because you're being taken over. It's worse than being at somebody's house. It's worse than you going on a vacation, coming home and seeing a squatter in your house. They're breaking into your house while you're there, and you can't defend yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really an outrageous thing. And the press, the mainstream media only showed when they were coming in the water and over the
Well, I couldn't believe, when I was watching the local Spanish news crew interview these guys, the one guy's like, well, I was facing life in prison in the Netherlands, so I escaped and I'm here. Another guy said, I have hepatitis C and I was up on a murder rap, so I'm here. They didn't even care. I mean, it was like it was crazy.
That president actually gave, I think, $1 million.
Well, if you let me tell you, I want to. A couple days ago, a guy called, and it was he was very angry from New Jersey. Right? It was when Steve was talking about going to that crazy place, and he said, and he was yelling at me. This caller from New Jersey, and he said, "You said you'd never go to a Muslim country," and I said, "That's right." He said, "What about Morocco?" I said, "That's right. I'd never go to Morocco." And then look at this. Look what's just pouring across the border in Morocco. You got to go to. This isn't the Morocco of the movies, okay? I mean, it's changed.
Yeah, I think 100. First of all, that little town is it's like an island connected to Morocco, and it's the beginning of Spain. So what's happening basically? It's 18 miles from the mainland. And the government of Spain basically did nothing, and it turned. They're overwhelmed.
Richie, they can't. I promise you, Spain does not have a standing army. They do not have a standing army. They do not have a standing air force, and they don't have a standing navy. Okay, they don't have the ability to repel these invaders.
No, and Italy is going to put up a wall of barbed wire and everything else because they see what's happening. Europe is gone, but boy, this is going to be Europe on steroids. When you have left-wing governments that want to take over the United States, they're doing the
Well, I noticed, I was watching all of us were watching the footage yesterday, which was from cell phone cameras. I didn't see any locals. Everybody was like locked up in their house. They were scared to death. I don't blame them.
And then they break into the house when the sun goes down. What do you do when you outnumber the population and you're hungry and you have nowhere to sleep? What do? You break into the house.
Well, that's not what I would do. That's not what I would do.
No, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't have gone there without permission. I wouldn't. This is outrageous. I've never seen anything like it.
And they're telling me that Morocco emptied out their jails and let these guys come in.
Yeah, Brian, why doesn't the local and the press, the mainstream press, why don't they show what went on last night? Why is it
And
like
let me
that?
tell you, Spain. This is what Spain gets for not paying their NATO dues and thumbing their nose at President Trump, who said, you think you don't need NATO? They need them today, don't they?
And this guy that last called you, by the way, what is this undocumented, undocumented? Illegal, brother. It's not undocumented.
Yes.
Illegal.
Exactly.
People have their talking points. It's gross. And by the way, you're not going to hear abolish ICE as much because the people in this country that actually are paying
Well, let me tell you,
attention
we're going to
see what's going
get a lot of coverage out of Spain, and I'll tell you why. Spain is to the British what the Caribbean is to Americans. The British go to Spain like we go to Puerto Rico, we go to the Virgin Islands. The Brits, they all go to Spain on vacation. So Spain, there's a lot of Brits live in Spain. So a lot of British Nigel Farage was out there yesterday talking about it, made a very good some comments which I may share later. But the British conservative media like Great Britain Today and all that, they're going to be covering this. So we're going to get a lot from good conservatives in the UK.
Oh, yeah, that's why I said to you in the beginning of the call, they're the best thing that happened to our movement, Morocco, Africa, and Spain, because I want the people in this country to see, if you want the chaos that went on at nighttime, which the mainstream media won't show you, if you saw breaking into homes and houses and apartments, they actually had ladders breaking into windows. And if your child was in the bedroom sleeping and some maniac was trying to break into your house, what would you do when you don't have a weapon because that liberal government over there took everything
Listen,
from the people.
I'm late for the break. I got to run, Richie. Those of you who want to hold standby, it's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I want to talk about Sloman Central Air Conditioning. If your air conditioning is running all day long and never shutting off, you got a bad unit. If you have rooms in your house that no matter what you set your AC to are hot and during the day, you got a bad unit. You want to call Sloman's Central Air Conditioning. And let me tell you, this is the most incredible deal I have ever heard on a new air conditioning system in my entire life living here in the place where air conditioning is life, and that's sunny South Florida. Listen to this. Sloman Central Air Conditioning is offering a high-efficiency 5-ton 18-SEER system that uses R454B refrigerant for just $59.99 with zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for 18 months. It comes with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper service plan, which includes annual system maintenance, filter replacement, and refrigerant, so you have no annual maintenance cost, and you'll also receive the Sloman Shield home security system installed with 5 years of professional central station monitoring included in your AC package. Give them a call, 561-217-COOL. That's C-O-O-L. 561-217-COOL. 561-217-COOL. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, Brian, this is Joan from Tampa Bay. I just got to say, Jupiter Joe Thomas, I called him. I almost fell off my chair. A 5-year annuity. I get a hefty monthly allowance, and I don't even touch my principal.
I thank you, Joan, in Tampa Bay, for taking my advice. And those of you out there that have not yet done it, take advantage of the no-charge consultation that Jupiter Joe Thomas offers. I'm going to give you the number. It's 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, jupiterjoe.com. And Joan in Tampa Bay, I think you might be the new Jupiter Joe Thomas commercial.
Well, it's a win-win situation. You never lose your principal.
Exactly. Yeah, guys. Again, the number for Joe Thomas, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, jupiterjoe.com.
Are you looking for the easy, breezy way to make this your best summer yet? Set sail with Margaritaville at Sea. They've got award-winning ships, beautiful destinations, live entertainment, family-friendly experiences, and core memories, all waiting just offshore. Whether you're sailing for a few days or a full Caribbean adventure, paradise is closer than you think. Learn more at margaritavillatsea.com.
What time do you think you'll
8
Like exactly at 8?
at the top. But I don't know if he's going to be there
Gotcha.
because he didn't get back to me.
So if I, because I was gonna say right now I have that commercial on the top, but do you want me to move it down just in case? Or you want me to
Yeah, like at the bottom or something, wherever. Yeah.
Gotcha. Like right before,
Yeah.
after, before.
Yeah, it's 50-50. I won't know till because we didn't confirm.
Very bad. I'll make sure.
Medication, there's no surgery, there's none of that. It's strictly either the laser, the acupuncture I do, or shockwave therapy I do. Open 6 days a week. Come in for the free consultation and be willing to look at you and help you.
Take advantage of that no-charge consultation with Dr. Appleton. Remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs for all of my
Unbelievable.
lab work.
Okay, there we go.
Highly skilled and professional, and the prices include all lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box. And I also send it to my doctor. There's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around. These are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. It's where the Mr. Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. Don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Now, back to the Steve King Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, we're back. It's Friday, Open Mega Mike Friday, open phones. You can call in about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian, Doc from Texas.
Oh, hey, Doc. What's up?
Hey, man. Hey, how are you this morning?
I'm doing all right.
Hey, look. I was just listening to your show for a minute.
For a
I heard
minute.
you talking about what happened.
Didn't I tell you, Mike?
Actually,
Hold on, but before you go, didn't I tell you people always say they don't listen or just a radio accident? You know, I
don't listen to you that much. I
know.
listen to you for a minute.
I know. You just call every day and talk about.
Okay, I do.
give me a
I
break.
really do. And when I have to hang up from you, I'm gonna stop listening.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, you know what? No. Why don't I just hang up on you and stop listening to you? How about that? You know, I've told this to Mike a couple times. When this is my favorite. When you meet liberals, like if I meet liberal listeners, okay, this is I mean, what am I supposed to do when he says that, right? I was interested in what he had to say. I thought we could have fun with him, but you know, hey. When I meet liberal listeners, I've told this to Mike before. One of the most common things they say is, "Oh, I haven't listened to you in however long," and then they start telling me what I was talking about, like that day on the air. I'm like, "Well, I thought you didn't listen." Well, I just happened to. Oh my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What an idiot.
Good morning.
Oh my goodness.
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Yes, Doug.
Okay.
Yes.
The first thing I'd like to say is our gas prices are coming down a little bit. I really would like to see America. I'd like to see America come out with the American commodities market just for our oil, because us and Venezuela.
I
and
agree.
over here.
Agreed.
We definitely shouldn't be affected by what goes on in the Middle East.
But you know what? I got a BJ's membership about a week ago, and just for the gas. And I'm getting gas for a quarter of a gallon less than the gas station I normally buy. In like 2 months, and maybe a month, 2 months at the most, my BJ's membership will be paid for. I'll never walk inside the store to buy anything.
Oh, they got some good deals sometimes. I'm a member of BJ's, Costco, all of them. I do a lot of shopping.
Really?
Anyway.
Yeah.
But matter of fact, I do so much shopping at Costco. My membership is free. You get
Really?
rebates. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Well, how
So
much
anyway,
shopping do you have to do that you get a free membership? How does that work? Like
a couple $100. It's not that much. It's not that bad.
Wow.
And plus they give you towards the membership the gas. I buy the gas at Costco. Sometimes at BJ's, but mostly at Costco.
Yeah,
So
the BJ's is closer to my house. If I got the Costco, I'd never. The BJ's is next to Starbucks, so so it's easy.
I know. Okay. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to mention is, President Trump is made this historic peace deal. If Biden did it or Obama did it, I think our side would say, all right, the guy did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
You'll never hear them on the left, the liberals, ever say anything good about President Trump. I don't know why that is, but man,
Trump derangement syndrome.
Guy,
well,
yeah,
Doug, I was talking about it in the first hour. Hamas has agreed to disarm. And this is all because of the air campaign against Iran. Because remember, Hamas is really Iran. They're a front group for Iran, and Iran can no longer help them because we've battered them so much. And it's really, and I was getting so frustrated listening to these big shot retired lieutenant generals and lieutenant colonels, and and former advisor to this jerk and that jerk. And none of them got into that. Now, maybe they will later today. That's just what I was listening to in the overnight. But it's a sign of the defeat of Iran by President Trump.
Oh, yeah. They know that President Trump is the serious guy. Is not like a Biden or Obama or anybody.
Well, there's no more money coming. Iran isn't sending them money or ammo or anything. So, Hamas has been bankrupted. And that's what President Trump is doing. It takes a little longer because it's a whole country, but that's what he's doing with Iran proper.
Oh yeah. They're smart. No, you don't need boots on the ground. You just take their money away and they'll fall apart.
But it sounds to me though that you've got kind of like a shopping addiction.
No,
what are you loading up on at Costco and BJ's so much?
Let's see.
Like what do you load up on?
I don't really load up that much. I buy bananas, I buy milk and steak and.
No, now you're downplaying it.
I wind up. Matter of fact, I'm in there so much that everybody knows me. But yeah, maybe I'm addicted. But I don't. Matter of fact. There's not much room in my freezer, so I wind up buying more than I should be buying, perhaps.
Ah, I see. I see. Yeah.
But
do you have a freezer in your garage?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too. I know. It's that's what happens.
I got my wife always says, "Don't buy anything else. There's no room." But I'm there too much. You're right. But I like going there because where
the garage refrigerators for beer.
Yeah.
That's where you put the beer. My neighbor has a refrigerator in his garage that has a keg inside his refrigerator, and he's got the pour thing like at the bar for the draft beer on the outside of the refrigerator. Isn't that super cool? I know, it is pretty cool. I like that. I like to have that.
I know. He made that himself, or he bought it.
I don't know. And he always tells, you can come over anytime. You don't have to get me. Just come into the garage and get a beer.
Wow.
I've never done that, but cool, I've never done. It is pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Anyway, I just think that it's a matter of getting something that you like, and I wind up buying stuff that we need more than.
Okay, all right. Hey, Doug, I got to run. Okay, listen. I took the last break a little late, so I'm going to take this break on time. I apologize for the short segment, so we can be on schedule for the rest of the program. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian, back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. From the All-Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Periods of clouds and sunshine, good chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Daytime high in the middle 90s with a heat advisory for Palm Beach County from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. And tonight, clouds are breaking up and the overnight low in the upper 70s. Saturday and Sunday, over 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms. High Saturday and Sunday into the lower 90s. The overnight lows in the upper 70s.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Traffic moving smoothly from Jupiter all the way down to Boca Raton. I-95, the Florida Turnpike, US 1 northbound and southbound. No mention of any accidents or roadblocks. That goes for the local roads as well. There is a purple alert out of Lake Worth, and a purple alert is for an adult with mental disabilities. Be on the lookout for a blue Toyota Highlander, Florida license plate number DR84GN. If you see that vehicle, dial star 347. From the traffic center, I'm Ray Thomas.
That's your traffic brought to you by PBKC. Freedom, fireworks, and high hands. It's all happening this July in the Poker Room at PBKC. The excitement never stops with high hands every 15 minutes, every day from 9 a.m. to midnight. Plus a $15,000 cash giveaway and $100,000 progressive weekends. Grab your friends for the $10 poker party Friday, July 31st. It's a great way for beginners to experience tournament play. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum all day, every day. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Everywhere you look, someone is talking about losing weight. But what if weight isn't actually the problem? What if it's your metabolism? Hi, I'm Dr. Adam Zuckerman with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, the home of the
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, he said the driving. The purple alert's driving.
Losing weight becomes harder than it should be. That's why we don't simply focus on the number of the scale. We focus on helping improve metabolic health naturally. Our doctor-developed metabolic reset has helped thousands of people improve their metabolism, while many lose 10 to 20% of their body weight in about 60 days.
Hey, it's Brian Craig. Dr. Zuckerman's Metabolic Reset has changed my life. I lost the weight, and I'm keeping it off. And it wasn't difficult either. There's no exercise plan, no prepackaged meals, and no risky injections. I'm feeling like I did in my 20s thanks to Dr. Zuckerman and his Metabolic Reset.
Maybe your metabolism isn't broken. Maybe it just needs a reset. Schedule your free consultation today by calling 561-359-3418 or at coastalweightlossecret.com. That's coastalweightlossecret.com, the home of the metabolic reset.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 49 years on the air.
All right, we are back, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you? How you doing this morning, Brian?
I'm doing well. You know, I'd mentioned on the air a few times that someone in my immediate family had their revocable living trust reviewed by you, and you updated it for them, and they had a health scare. They called me the other day on the way in the ambulance on the way to the hosptal. Can you believe it? While I was on the air, they called. They're okay. They're okay. They're home now. But it really tells you that, you know, you never know when these things are going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we need to be prepared. That's why we do what we do, and that's why people come to the Siegel Law Group, to be prepared, to have peace of mind, to make sure they're protected when the time comes that they need the protection. So,
and they just had the trust completed like a week ago, and then it's crazy.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that.
Yes.
That they're okay.
Oh yeah, everybody's fine.
So that's the good news.
Yeah.
So I mean, this morning I was just gonna do a little self-promotion here about our online presence. You know, often we come on and we talk about tips about different legal issues, but today I just want to tell people, you know, look us up online. If you look us up on Google, you'll see over 500, almost 530 reviews. And I think we're at 5-star at this point, 5-star level. Look us up on social media: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. We've been posting some more entertaining content lately. Things beyond, let me tell you what the difference between a will and a trust are, that kind of stuff. Things that have been getting a lot of traction online, and
cool.
might put a smile on your face, and you might enjoy. So I'd urge anybody to take a look at our social media. And what you could do is go to our website, SiegelLawGroup.com. At the very bottom of the homepage, it has all of the links to our social media. So take a look, and if you find something interesting, amusing, like it, share it with somebody, and hopefully you get something out of it and enjoy it.
I'll definitely be doing that after the show, and I can testify to what Attorney Barry Siegel's saying about the reviews. I've lost track of how many listeners over the years I've talked to that are clients of the Siegel Law Group and Attorney Barry Siegel. But I've heard nothing but just praise. And when I'm on our MAGA cruises, I'm spending a week with everyone, and they talk to me about it, and there's a constant with every person is that they say a variation of this. It was a weight lifted off my shoulders. And I looked through this trust you did for my family member recently. Barry, I got to tell you, I was blown away by that trust. It is so detailed and so perfect, and it covers things that, even though you and I talk so often, never occurred to me. And you think you know everything, but I'm not you. I'm not the attorney. So listen, call the Siegel Law Group. And today is the last day of July, which means it's the last day for that special, Barry.
Right, yeah. So, pretty much I'd say at this point, if you haven't called in and taken advantage of it,
too late. You're done. It's
an opportunity that's passed by.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do something special for the month of July for independence, give people the independence of being able to set up their estate plan and save some money in doing so. But we're here. We're going to continue to be here throughout the year and help people, and and from time to time we might have a promotion here and there, but we don't do it.
You got to strike when the iron's hot, guys. Okay, right. So next time we talk about it, don't procrastinate. It's really a good lesson, because you don't want to procrastinate with your revocable living trust either, right? And a big part of the message from the Siegel Law Group is don't procrastinate, don't put things off. Give the Siegel Law Group a call, toll free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782, and go to SiegelLawGroup.com as well. And remember, when you go to SiegelLawGroup.com, look for all that social media stuff that Barry was talking about. All right, Barry, we'll talk next week.
All right, have a great weekend.
All right, take care. All right, and it is Open MAGA Mike Friday. Remember, it is open phones today. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on today's show. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, hello. My name is Christian. I'm sorry, my English is not perfect. I'm from Poland.
Okay, that's good. Poland. Okay.
My name is Christian.
Yes.
Christian, if I can leave it at that.
Your English is fine. Your English is fine.
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much.
Yes, better than half of the liberal callers that call the show. I'll tell you that.
Oh my goodness! Well, I appreciate it. I do. I'm part Polish, part Ukrainian myself. But I thought I would call in just to ask you overall your opinion on. I articulate maybe not in the greatest way, but on what you think of global situation overall. I was happy to listen to what you had to say.
Well, when you say global, you mean, what are you talking about? Like Iran? Ukraine?
In general.
Well, Iran's going well. No. Iran's going well. I mean, look. I was talking about this earlier. Look what just happened. Hamas and Gaza has agreed to disarm. So basically, they're dissolving. Hamas was a front group for Iran. So that tells us that Iran is so battered, so beaten, so broke, so unable to do anything
terrorist organization.
that works.
Absolutely.
That and so without Iran, they're gone. They've dissolved. That's a great thing. So I would say the world situation is going well.
Do you see any strategy that could potentially be outside of? I'm sorry, my English is very bad. How to exit out of Iran?
Oh no, they're going to be there forever. We're going to be dealing with them forever. They're basically, the way I described it in the show earlier is this. 6 months ago, Iran was a military power. They had air power. They had an army. They had a terrorist army throughout the world. They had a navy. And now they have some speedboats. They're basically being degraded to becoming like pirates, like the Somali pirates.
They've been incapacitated, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, incapacitated. See, your English is better than mine. That's perfect. Yes, they've been incapacitated. Yes.
Yes. Going forward, I mean, I have a degree and so on. Going forward in the world, what do you think? What do you think the United States should do in order to further itself for betterment of the?
First off, vote MAGA for whoever Donald Trump says to vote forever for the rest of his life. That's what you got to do. Then everything will be fine.
It sounds very. If you don't mind my question, just to play devil's advocate, that sounds very, very narrow-minded. Very not you being narrow-minded, but it sounds like I'm playing devil's advocate here. You are voting for just because one person says that you should do something.
No. Okay. I mean, okay. You're from Poland. Like, how old are you?
I am 34 years
old. Oh, okay. So you grew up after the Soviet Union era, but you know about it.
Members of my family suffered.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
extreme degrees.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I can remember as a little kid, Pope John Paul, who of course was from Poland. And fought the was part of the Polish resistance against the Nazis. By the way, Pope John Paul, he was a priest, and Lech Walesa and all of that stuff, and these great freedom fighters. See, while you were occupied by the Soviet Union, in this country we've been occupied too, by this permanent Washington class, this deep state, this uniparty of the Republican and Democrat Party, and freedom in America has been an illusion. Before Trump was president, we were as free as your grandparents were during the Soviet Union days. And President Trump is leading a freedom movement against these tyrants, and it's not completed yet. So we still got to vote for whoever Trump tells us to vote for, because the freedom fighting is still going on. We're not totally liberated yet. That's why I say that.
I understand, yes, because the brutality that not only Poland but much of Eastern Europe until the fall of the Soviet Union was brutal. It wasn't even.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, people have no idea.
There are no words to describe it.
No, people have no idea. No,
my friend.
No, it's. Yes. But you know what? No, but Poland, Poland's awesome now, and. There's a lot of good Republicans from Poland. We have a lot of Polish people in America that have immigrated. And I used to, when Obama was president, I remember I was we had an appearance at Wings Plus in Coral Springs, one of our sponsors, and there was a guy who grew up in Poland, and he was there, and he said, when I hear Obama speak, he's saying in English what the Russians used to say to us in the schools when I was in Poland, and, when the Soviets were there, he said the same thing. So, the Democrat Party is a communist party.
Yes, but at the same time, I'm only Polish, Ukrainian.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ukrainian. Oh, yeah. Well, that's another problem with Zelensky.
I don't think it's a problem.
Really? I mean, Zelensky. I wouldn't either. Zelensky. Zelensky is like two. No. It's about freedom. Zelensky is like 2 years past his presidential term. He's a dictator. There's
under law, though.
under law. I mean, they in Germany they had the Nuremberg laws. Just because something's the law, it doesn't mean that it's right and moral. So he's a dictator. There's no free elections.
I don't agree with that. But
there's no free elections.
With all due respect, I don't agree with you on that. But I mean that with respect.
Okay. Well, he's a dictator.
But what I do agree with, though, is what you do have to say about so many of the problems in the world. It's a very, very difficult planet that we inhabit.
That is true. That is true. Listen, I got to run for a break, but call me again sometime. You're a very good caller. Are you in Poland?
Okay,
Are you in America or Poland right now?
I prefer not to say.
Oh,
but,
okay. Well, you're English.
Yeah,
you speak English very well, so very
Thank
good.
you, sir.
All right,
I
take care.
appreciate
Take
it.
care. All right, take care. Take care. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. And let's see here. What time is it? Oh, let me talk about Friendly Tire in Margate. Okay, Friendly Tire in Margate. It's absolutely amazing. I tell you guys, you get new tires out the door and on the road as low as $75 a tire, and you can get tires for any type of vehicle. And when I'm over at Friendly Tire, and I run into listeners, that have Jags, that have Porsches, that have Vets, that have Toyotas, that every kind of car. But I ran into a listener at Friendly Tire in Margate who had one of those. I don't know what you call them, but one of those Japanese sandwich trucks. You know what I'm talking about? That you see people driving sometimes, where it's on the the steering wheel's on the right side, and it's like a Japanese sandwich truck. And he was driving in there, and I couldn't believe Friendly Mike. He had the tires. He got the tires for it. I was in shock. No matter what type of vehicle you have, Friendly Tire can get you the tires for it. And you want to call because you can get tires for as low as $75 a tire. Brand new tires, by the way, as low as $75 a tire out the door and on the road. Remember, Friendly Tire, they're open on Saturdays too, doesn't charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, or dispose of your old tire. And he has thousands of good used tires in stock as low as $35 a tire, and that's out the door and on the road too. He also does tire repairs. Give Friendly Tire a call. Friendly Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, it's Brian Craig. Let me ask you this. Are you planning on retiring in the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, at any point in your life? Or are you already retired? Listen, economically, it's a mess with the stock market ups and downs and inflation out of control. In fact, it's the highest inflation rate in 40 years. You need a plan of action for your retirement plans. You need the advice of a retirement expert who can help you protect your money, guarantee your income, and stop losing money. Joe Thomas is president of Retirement Network Advisors, South Florida's premier retirement experts, and has been for over 20 years. He's seen it all and is a true professional that you can trust. They're family owned and operated. His daughter Jenny works with him. You know Joe and Jenny from right here on True Oldies. He's the host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show, and he's been doing that for over a decade. You need Jupiter Joe's book, The Retirement Know-It-All. Mention my name, Brian Craig, and receive a free copy of his ebook. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Take advantage of his free phone consultation too. Go to jupiterjoe.com or call 561-743-0999.
When someone you love needs more support than you can give at home, it can be hard to know where to turn. At the Harrison Assisted Living and Memory Care of Stewart, we're here to help your family find peace of mind. Our compassionate caregivers provide personalized assistance, meaningful engagement, and a safe, comforting community your loved one can truly call home. Let us walk this journey with you. Visit harrisonstewart.com to learn more.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
On the line is Jamie Levac from Swift Tax. You know, Jamie, a lot of people missed the tax deadline on April 15th. Not only is it not too late for them to file, but they may have, with the new tax code, a huge refund coming that they're leaving on the table, right?
Absolutely, Brian. If you haven't filed your taxes and you've been avoiding it because you're worried about penalties or late fees, if you are anticipating a refund, give me a call. There's a good chance there is a substantial amount of money left on the table for you. Again, this is your money. You worked hard for it. Give me a call anytime. Jamie Levac, Swift Tax.
Yeah, and remember, Jamie Levac can help you with your taxes no matter where you are located in the United States. Give him a call right now, 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right. Yes. We are back. Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is the Major. How you doing?
All right. What's up?
Oh, great. Thanks to you, I went over to Friendly Mike, and I got 3 new tires without delay, and it was just great service.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I really had a great experience. I also wanted to mention that Greenland is in the background, I know, but I flew on the world's largest ski aircraft for 2 years over there, and we just got 3 new air bases there in Greenland. So they're still working on that.
Oh yeah.
And I just enjoy your program immensely, and thanks very much.
Well, thank you so much. All right, take care. All right, the Major's got 3 new tires. I don't know why he didn't get the 4th, but he's got 3 new tires from Friendly Tire. Thanks for the call. So I mentioned this, so I want to go through the story. This is insane, okay? So Graham Plattner, the Nazi, he won the primary, and he was running. He was running for the Senate. He won the primary as a Democrat in Maine, even though he had he's a Nazi. And then a Democrat socialist ex-girlfriend accused him of rape, and he dropped out. And they just anointed this Troy Jackson character. So he's the one that they're putting up against Susan Collins in Maine. Listen to this, Breitbart. Maine Democrat Troy Jackson, longtime partner, are second cousins with 2 children. He's got 2 kids with his second cousin. Now, I'm not a lawyer. Is it legal for second cousins to have kids? You know, it may not. Is it legal for second cousins to marry? Can second cousins get? That's so sick. That is really sick. When my second cousins, I look at them as like nieces and nephews. But I'm wondering, is Troy Jackson not married to his longtime partner because they're second cousins? I don't know. Maine Democrat U.S. Senate nominee Troy, they had a Nazi, now they got a guy married to his cousin? Maine Democrat U.S. Senate nominee Troy Jackson and his longtime partner are second cousins who share 2 children. What? The Maine Wire, I knew he was with his second cousin. I didn't know they had kids. The Maine Wire reported that Jackson, the former Maine Senate president, tapped last week to challenge Republican Susan Collins, and his longtime partner are related by blood. The outlet said the 2 are second cousins and have 2 children together. Why is this not? If there was a MAGA Republican or any Republican running for the Senate who was married or had 2 children with their second cousin, you don't think that'd be top and bottom of the hour with Sounders? CNN and MS Now would have their medical correspondents on to talk about how dangerous it is to have children that close to the bloodline. He identified his partner and reported that she and he share a set of great-grandparents. Both are from Allagash, a small town. The two have never legally married, and Maine does not recognize common law marriage. The relationship could carry consequences for how Troy Jackson reports his finances under Senate rules. Candidates and members must file detailed disclosures covering their own income, assets, and liabilities, along with those of their spouse. Because they're not wed, he's not going to have to do that. And let me tell you, they look related to me. I'm looking at a picture of this guy with his cousin that he had 2 children with, and there's a family resemblance. They have the same mouth, the same chin, and the same cheeks. Oh my goodness. Oh. This whole article is about the finances. Older official bios have referred to her as his wife. His current campaign materials describe him as his partner. Kissing cousins. That's right, kissing cousins. He won the Democrat nomination on Saturday. I don't think that's true. Graham Plattner won the nomination. What are the laws about marrying cousins and having children with cousins? I don't know. Let me Google it. All right. Can second cousins marry in the United States? Let me just Google it. I don't, that's, usually I know the things I'm talking about, but this is something I never considered, that we'd have a Senate candidate. Second cousins can legally marry in all 50 states. Unlike first cousins, whose marriage is restricted or banned in roughly half of the states. So in half the states, first cousins could get married? That's gross. Second cousins share great-grandparents, and no state has laws prohibiting their union. Sharing great-grandparent, okay, let's just let me explain the second cousin thing, okay? Because I'm thinking about who are my second cousins. That my second cousins are my cousins' kids, right? Okay. Right? Is there another scenario for a second cousin? Because I'm thinking my second cousins are my cousins' kids. So I'm trying to think, are there any second cousins in another way? I don't know of any. But I haven't thought about this weird stuff. I'm not into this kind of thing. But, this is the Democrats. While it is accurate to say that we share great-grandparents, but my grandparents are my second cousin's great-grandparents. Right? My aunt and uncle are their grandparents. Right? So if my aunt and uncle are their grandparents, that's sick. This is so sick, beyond imagination. Okay? This is what the Democrats have to put up now? And they have kids. Oh my God. You see what I mean about Democrats have total immunity? They can be a Nazi. They can let women die, right? Commit murder like Ted Kennedy. Rape Bill Clinton. Did I say Nazis? They could be a Nazi with Graham Plattner. No problem. Now you can have sex and father children with your second cousin? Are there any standards? And I want to tell you this, okay? Pat Robertson and Jerry Falwell said in the 80s and the 90s, if gays have the right to get married, all the taboos are going to be gone. In my book, this is a taboo. What do you guys think? I want to talk about life imaging, FLA. Speaking of family, do you have anyone in your family who's had cancer or heart attacks or heart disease? Well, what does that mean for you? Well, it means that you're at risk, is what it means. And it means you want to go in and get checked. Someone in my family got cancer lung cancer, never smoked, but everybody else in the family did, and they got lung cancer from side streams. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's right. You want to ask about the cancer screening when you're over there. But if you're in your family, if your parents, your grandparents, your family has a history of cancer, of heart disease, of heart attacks, you want to go to Life Imaging and get checked out. You know, Life Imaging have locations in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach, as well as Orlando. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. And when you're there, please ask about their full body cancer screening and full body virtual colonography. And say goodbye to sedation. That's pound 250 on your cell. Pound 250 on your cell. Say free heart scan, and you'll be connected in seconds. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. I can't believe the show is flying by. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. It is Open Mag and Mike Friday, open phones on Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. Our number toll free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll take our break for the top of the hour, come back with your calls and more right after this.
WDJA AM Delray Beach, also heard in St. Lucie County on 15. St. Lucie and in Martin County on 1450 WSTU Stewart. We are South Florida's home for the true oldies channel. From the Code Red Roofers Weather Center, Code Red Roofers, roofers who respond. Call 844-4-CODE-RED. Code Red Roofers.com. Here's your oldies forecast.
Periods of clouds and sunshine. It's really common. I know people who from Alabama also integrate with their family. First cousins and second cousins. So I feel like that's what they're doing too now. It's like, all right, the Nazi didn't work right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so they're just going to keep pulling strings until they find something that apparently they think will fit.
Mm-hmm. It's still pretty gross to me.
It really is. And the only thing I could see is
Weather brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Roofers who respond. Serving South Florida for over 20 years. Promoting integrity over profitability.
I wouldn't do it either way, but like that's the only other one I could think of.
Right. Protect your home or office today with Code Red Roofers. Call 844-4-CODE-RED. CodeRedRoofers.com. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Hello?
Disabled vehicle in the roadway in Palm
Hey, it's Brian.
I-95 southbound.
Good. We're about a minute away, so I'm gonna put you on hold, and we'll be on the air when I pick you up. All right?
Use caution. There
Great.
is
Hold
a
on.
purple alert out of Lake Worth, and a purple alert is for an adult with mental disabilities. Be on the lookout for a blue Toyota Highlander, Florida license plate number DR84GN. If you see that vehicle, dial star 347. From the traffic center, I'm Ray Thomas.
That's your traffic, brought to you by PBKC. It's a great week to visit PBKC. Catch all the top horse racing action, including the excitement of Saratoga, the $1 million Arlington Million, and more. Watch, wager, and win in style at the Paddock Restaurant, featuring all the OTB and sports action on over 140 HD TVs and 3 giant screens, plus delicious food and friendly service. And this fall, don't miss incredible tribute dinner shows celebrating the music of Queen, CCR, the Beach Boys, ABBA, the Bee Gees, and more. Get all the details now at bbkennelclub.com.
Right now, Sloman Central Air Conditioning makes it easier than ever to upgrade without blowing your budget. Get a high-efficiency 5-ton 18-SEER system using R454B refrigerant for just $59.99. And it gets even better. Enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Every new system comes with a 5-year all-inclusive service plan, including annual system maintenance, filter replacements, and refrigerant. So there are no annual maintenance costs. Call 561-217-COOL
right, indeed it is. On this Friday, callers on hold, stand by. We're going to check in with Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax. Jamie Levac, good morning.
Morning, Brian. How you doing?
Good, good, good. You know, you and I were talking a while back about people that owe money to the IRS, and there's a lot of people, Jamie, that are just terrified of that certified letter coming and all of that. And, you know, I hear a lot of these national companies that advertise about helping people that owe money to the IRS. And you were telling me that those companies charge a boatload of money to people. And I said to you, well, if someone's in debt like that, how do they have the money to pay these companies? You actually help people that owe back taxes who may not have even filed for many years for just a tiny fraction of what those big national companies are charging.
Yes, Brian. There's a lot of programs out there for people who do owe money to the IRS, and depending on what category you fall into, there's different programs that can help you out. Let's say if you have a lump sum that you owe the IRS, they are willing to settle for less, and that's something I can help you with. Let's say if you owe a lump sum and there is no way in your lifetime you will ever be able to pay that debt. Well, the IRS is willing to help you out, whether that's apply for a program that will relieve your debt or whether that's maybe settling for a lesser amount of your total debt.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's so many things. And Jamie, you have a direct line to the IRS. And you know, the IRS, these things worry people so much, but you can handle all of these problems for them and take that weight, take that worry, take that stress off of them.
If this is something that has been stressing you out for years, if you've had this debt over your head for a while now, and you've seen that you're in a payment plan that just seems that will never, ever end, give me a call. We can figure out what works for you. We can figure out at all price ranges what your plan is. And if it's affordable for you, we can help you get it done.
Absolutely. Now, another thing I wanted to talk to you about, Jamie, is, you know, and by the way, Jamie Levac can help you with your taxes no matter where you're located in the United States. But you also help people that have businesses of all sizes with not only their business taxes, but their bookkeeping and things along those lines too, right?
Of course. If it seems to you like your accounting bill is gone through the roof, if you feel like you're paying more than what you were receiving, give me a call. A lot of times I'm able to save small businesses on bookkeeping fees and accounting fees just by restructuring the plan that we have together.
Yeah.
Again, I'm here to save you money at the end of the day. If I can give you advice for free to save you money, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Steve Kane left his accountant of many years and moved over with Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. And, you know, and what Steve's problem was, and I think this is a problem with a lot of people, is after a while, their accountants kind of oftentimes they stop going out of the way for them, and they find out over the years they're paying more in taxes than they used to pay. With Jamie Levac, that's not going to happen. You know, I would say it's almost like a game to you that you enjoy doing, Jamie, and that's saving people money on their taxes.
And that's the goal at the end of the day. Our mission is to save people money. When you get on the phone with me, I understand your situation. The first thing we do is apply a plan, and we keep that plan throughout the years to make sure that we're saving money every year, that you're happy at the end of the day, and that you're not overpaying for simple accounting service.
That's right. Listen, guys, give Jamie Levac a call. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac at Swift Tax, so you can call or text. And remember, Jamie Levac at Swift Tax can help you with your taxes, whether they're individual, your business taxes, back taxes, you haven't filed in years, whatever your tax situation, even your state tax issues, give him a call or a text, 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587 for Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. All right, Jamie Levac, we'll talk soon.
Have a good one. Bye.
All right, take care. Wow, it's got a lot of good information there. All right, the 8 o'clock hour has begun. Let's go to the phones. Again, it's Open Mag and Mike Friday. You can call in about any and everything on your mind. You're on the air. What's your name? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, I was more interested in their conversation. They hung up, but that sounded more interesting than what we were going to talk about, I guess. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Legally Blind Man from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'm just going to make a couple points and get off. You're talking about incest, Mr. Brian. Incest, that's what it is.
Why do you like saying that word? You said it twice.
No, but...
you don't think I know that? You don't think that I purposely avoided that word?
Okay. Well, I grew up in an Antiochian Orthodox church, and 50% or more of the people going there their parents are first cousins.
Well, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting. Osama bin Laden, his first wife was his first cousin.
But you know why that is? Because you, like bin Laden, are from third world countries. We're in America, and this is not normal in America. If I went to mass on Sunday, I would bet you there's no one in there married to their cousin.
Yeah, they say if it's on your mom's side, it's a lot safer.
Safer? It's gross. It's disgusting.
It's gross. He had 10 kids with his first cousin on his mom's side.
Well, okay. All right. Take care. No, there's no and. I mean, But, see, that's part of the problem. Even though Troy Jackson in Maine is, he's not from the third world. He's from, here. But that's one of the reasons that you don't want to have this uncontrolled, unvetted illegal immigration going on, because you don't want people like that guy there, blind man. That's like in his circle, being married to your cousin is normal. It's not normal. I wish that Jerry Falwell were alive today to deal with this Democrat in Maine. These are the things that they used to warn us about. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. I want to get to some of my audio sound bites. I don't think I played any of them today. My least favorite person in the Senate is Adam Schiff. I can't even believe they sent this guy to the Senate. And he was on CNN yesterday, and they're talking about the Democrat socialists. Listen.
We've got a new poll out here at CNN tonight, which finds about just over a third, actually, of Democrats now identify as Democratic socialists. 59% of them, right? So 60% are younger than the age of 45. Are you on board with this? Do you see this as, accept this, that this is where your party's going? And are you good with it?
Look, I think we're a big tent party. I think we should be a big tent party, and I would rather be in that big tent in the majority than be a smaller party that is stuck forever in the minority.
Oh, my goodness. The Democrats, they're just really low lives. I remember years ago, when the Democrat, all Democrats see are a new demographic of people that will vote for them, and they don't think 3 minutes ahead, right? So this new poll that's out that a lot of people are talking about, a third of Democrats identify as Democratic Socialists, which means communist. A few years ago, the Democrats were fighting to get the felon vote back, right? And I always advocated against the felons getting their vote back. And I would talk to Democrats, and I would say, well, if felons get the vote, they're going to form a lobby group like any other organization. So what is the felon lobby going to lobby for, right? They're going to lobby for felonies to be acceptable and legal, right? And if they're a voting bloc, you're going to listen to. Well, these Democrat socialists that they're courting right now are a communist. And Democrats don't think about consequences. Liberals are all about immediate gratification. That's all they care about. So they can't think 1 year down the road on what impact this will be if they elect a bunch of communists or bring more communists into their party base. They just can't see 5 seconds ahead. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Chris from Pennsylvania. Long live the Republic, death to socialism. Question for you. Do you think that the socialists are going to eat up the Democratic Party and we'll see it wither and die?
Well, first off, they're communist. And no, they're going to become a communist party, and they're going to be the second major party. They're taking it over. They may not even change the name or the branding, because and some of them have talked about it. Some of these Democratic socialists have said, well, the Democrats already have the infrastructure there. We're taking it over. So, no,
But with the importation of all these militant Muslims also, I mean, you're going to watch those two groups eventually because they're antithetical to each other. They're going to have to go at it.
Listen, the Democrats just nominated a guy to run for the United States Senate who's married and has children with his second cousin. The people that I can't believe this. The people that the Democrats are recruiting they're not your grandparents' Democrats, people out there. They are really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Nazis, people having kids with their cousins, right? Communist. I mean, Presley. They found that dead girl in a property that her and her husband owned. Her husband was in prison. Presley's husband did time for I forgot what I'll look it up. I have an article here about it, but he did time in prison. The people that are in the Democrat Party today are not people of good character.
No, and I see them eventually taking over, unfortunately. I don't like Trump, but I do lean heavily right.
Why don't you like Trump?
No, me and you got into it on Monday.
I forgot.
I don't want to go down that.
I forgot what it was. Well, hold on a second. No. Hold on a second here.
Yeah.
When I don't remember the call. Can you just remind me? I won't debate you about it. What were we arguing about? I forgot.
Yeah, no, I was stepping on you, and I didn't mean to.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're new to the show. That's okay. You didn't know the rules yet. That's okay. You're doing well now. But you really have to reflect on your dislike of President Trump and the MAGA movement. Yeah, and look at this. Presley, she's one of the leading Democrats, right? Right? I mean, her husband did 10 years in prison. Right? We got this Democrat I'm talking about, that's having kids with his cousin. We're talking about these communists. One of the squad's mother is in the female version of the Muslim Brotherhood. They
married her brother.
Yeah, exactly. So don't these things bring you to the MAGA movement? We're the major party. I mean, there's a threat by these people.
There is. I voted right. And I'll always vote right no matter
whatever
what.
That
That's
means.
An easy call. But,
whatever that means.
Yeah, I would rather have had DeSantis, even though he's a little bit, he has some issues. But we need someone younger. That's my point. I don't want no more old people. I don't want any more old people in office.
Oh my God! Are you David Hogg? How old are you?
No. But
how old are you? How old are you?
48.
Okay.
48.
You know what? Okay, this is like Logan's Run. What's the cutoff age to you?
70.
70?
It needs to be arbitrary.
Look
at Mitch McConnell. I'm just saying. Look at the old people that we've had. Biden was a disaster. Mitch McConnell's a disaster.
President Trump is 80. He looks great. He's doing great. President Trump's 80.
Pelosi is a disaster. Yeah, he interviews good. Yeah, no doubt about that.
He runs the world well too.
I just don't want any more old people.
No more old people. So you're like, have you ever seen Logan's Run, the movie?
No, that's it's my time, but I've never leaned into it.
Go and watch Logan's Run with Michael York. Okay, I mean, first off, you want people that are older, and I'll tell you why. But if you could, why do you think I like people who are older in positions of authority?
You're probably thinking of maturity and stability or something.
No, not maturity or stability. It's called wisdom. Wisdom.
So, in the military, there's always the older non-commissioned officer.
that's a fighting force. Okay, I mean, right. No. We're not talking about a fighting force. And Mitch hold on a second. Mitch McConnell and Biden are obviously are unfit for office. But Trump is. Right. And 70, I mean, Ronald Reagan was 70 years old when he was elected the first time.
He had Parkinson's on his way out, though. That's my point.
On his way, the charge is Alzheimer's, not Parkinson's.
Or Alzheimer's, excuse me, not Parkinson's.
And he wasn't diagnosed with Alzheimer's until he was out of office. That's not true. That's liberal media lies. In fact, a couple years ago, I watched a bunch of interviews that Ronald Reagan did in his last couple of weeks in the White House, in the residence. This guy was more with it than what? He was
still lucid.
He didn't have any Alzheimer's symptoms. Those are liberal lies. But go watch Logan's Run. I'm serious. Watch it over the weekend and then call me back. All right, take care. What a psycho. 70? When you grow older, you understand these things. Do you know one thing I've noticed about growing older? Okay, I'll just say this real quick, then we'll break. I'm not that old. I mean, But one thing I've noticed about getting older, I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys yet. I was telling this to my wife the other day. People that are old, that used to be like really old to me, people don't look old. Like as you grow old, I'm 55, okay? But when I see people that are my age or a little older, they don't look old. Even if they have gray hair. It's a very strange thing. Do any of you have that experience? All right, if you're on hold, stand by. He talks like David Hogg says that. We need young people, young people. I mean, he's 2 years away from 50. That's naive. When people are always talking about we need young people, no more old people, do they not realize they're growing older? All right. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll be back.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
Everywhere you look, someone is talking about losing weight. But what if weight isn't actually the problem? What if it's your metabolism? Hi, I'm Dr. Adam Zuckerman with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, the home of the metabolic reset. When your metabolism isn't working efficiently, losing weight becomes harder than it should be. That's why we don't simply focus on the number on the scale, we focus on helping improve metabolic health naturally. Our doctor-developed metabolic reset has helped thousands of people improve their metabolism, while many lose 10 to 20% of their body weight in about 60 days.
Hey, it's Brian Craig. Dr. Zuckerman's Metabolic Reset has changed my life. I lost the weight, and I'm keeping it off. And it wasn't difficult either. There's no exercise plan, no prepackaged meals, and no risky injections. I'm feeling like I did in my 20s thanks to Dr. Zuckerman and his Metabolic Reset.
Maybe your metabolism isn't broken. Maybe it just needs a reset. Schedule your free consultation today by calling 561-359-3418 or at coastalweightlossecret.com. That's coastalweightlossecret.com, the home of the metabolic reset.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, and all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Sandra. I'm calling from Delray Beach. The Barry Siegel Law Group did such wonderful work for me, and I was very particular. I'm a professional myself, and I went to about 3 or 4 attorneys prior. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They didn't want to add anything extra, but Barry tailored it to my needs. And it's not only the trust. There's so many other end-of-life documents, the living will, the will, and I tailored each one of them to my liking, and they were wonderful and always, always polite. And not only that, when you finish your document minutes, you leave this world, your beneficiaries can go there and they'll explain everything to them, which is a big deal. The Siegel Group is above and beyond that I have ever come to. Plus, they give you a big portfolio at the end with a leather-bound documents. It's beautiful.
Give the Siegel Law Group a call, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesSLA.com.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi. Good morning, Brian. Danielle. I'm from Michigan.
Hey, Danielle. What's up?
Hey, just to comment, your last caller. I mean, he wants to put an age, just like people want to put prim and proper, and they don't like his personality. They don't like the way Trump talks, and now they want him to be younger. That's a bunch of hogwash. He's the best president in my lifetime. Never will be anyone else like him. And the other thing I wanted to say real quick in Michigan, Latest polls, I'm hearing that the Muslim is up.
Yeah.
At least 15 points over Stevens.
Yes, I know. I've heard that too. Yeah,
Rogers.
he's expected to win the but I don't know. He's got a lot of problems, that other than being Muslim and all that. I mean, but he's got a lot of Like he's not. He goes around calling himself doctor. He's not licensed to practice. He talks about the evil rich. He's paid $700,000 a year. I mean, he's got and he's got the same advisors as Mamdani, because he does that smile thing that Mamdani does all the time. Whenever you catch him.
Yeah, scary stuff. But we're going to red here in Michigan because Michigan is we're pretty smart here.
He's now. I may be wrong, because you're in Michigan, so you're on the ground there. But he's ahead in the Democrat polls, but not in the general election polls. The last I saw.
Nope, that's incorrect.
Oh.
That's incorrect. That's incorrect. That's the good news. He's ahead with Stevens, and then Rogers will take him.
Okay, so I was right on that. Okay, so you said correct. I was correct.
Rogers can beat him. Rogers will beat this guy. He will definitely beat this guy. I think this guy's going to beat Haley Stevens.
Well, this Muslim invasion of Spain yesterday in North Africa.
Ooh.
I mean, what kind of wake-up call is that? I mean, it's got to be some wake-up call in a place where you've got a statewide candidate who's Muslim running.
I'm watching videos of that, and that should be spread everywhere, because that is extremely terrifying.
I'm really worried about I'm worried about the women and the girls. I saw these guys climbing up the walls of an apartment building. They're breaking in the houses, and I don't know. I haven't seen any stories about what happened last night, but it could not have gone well.
Very scary, very scary. But I just want to let you know that I'm really feel pretty good what I'm hearing here on the ground, and I'll start my door knocking for Roger soon.
Yes.
But this is what I'm hearing. So
okay,
we're gonna turn this beautiful state red.
That's
Common
right,
sense, Brian.
That's right.
Sense.
All right, take care. Take care.
Have a great weekend.
I don't open my door up for anyone that I don't know, and I've got the doorbell camera and everything. And there was a guy from the local Republican that was knocking at my door, and I didn't answer it. Well, I don't answer my door for anyone who door knocks. I don't care what shirt they have on. It's not safe to answer your door unless you know who it is. I don't care what shirt. I don't care if they say Amazon, UPS, a congressman. Nothing. I don't open the door for anyone, ever. I think that door knocking era is over. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is James. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, hey. I'm from Ohio. That was strange. I was on the other call with the young lady that you had on.
Well, because you're on hold, listening on hold, and there's a delay.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you're having a good morning. And I have to agree with your caller from Pennsylvania. See, there's nothing wrong, with getting older. But when you are in your late 70s and 80s, you can't point to Trump as the only example and say, hey, he looks great. Well, Trump never smoked, never drank, and I'll admit it, he's cognitively a lot better than Biden. But he's right about
Hold on a second. He's cognitive. Let me tell you something. I can't keep up with Trump. I watch.
Let me finish.
No, buddy. I'm going to interject, and we're having a conversation. When Trump has his rallies and events and everything on the weekends, I watch them all, and he'll have multiple events. I can hardly stay awake and keep up with him just watching him online and on television, and he's doing it on top of running the world. So he's, come on, buddy.
Okay. Well, I was going to say he looks better than other 80-year-olds, but you can definitely tell there's a difference from 4 or 5 years ago.
He's older. Well, I'm older. You're older. Do you look the way you looked 5 years ago, or do you look older?
No, it's not even about the looks. It's about the voice, the how he talks and carries himself.
That's not an age. No, that's not an age. No, that's not what that is. President Trump. He knows he has a limited time in power, right? He's back for his second and non-consecutive term. He's got a lot to do, and he's not wasting his time getting in arguments with fake news media people during press conferences and hecklers and things like that. He's just more about taking care of business and not into the small talk. But because you have Trump derangement syndrome, you see something negative in everything he does, which you'll deny you have that, of course.
If you have anything constructive to say about Trump, you're labeled as TDS, Trump derangement.
Well, you have Trump derangement syndrome, yes.
It's just a little ridiculous.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 33.
Yeah,
but
yeah. You need to watch Logan's Run too.
I have a Logan's Run. I'll check it out for you. I have another question though. So you are saying, I think you're really underestimating how serious of a threat the DSA is in a political way.
The Democrat Socialist of America, they're a clear and present danger.
No, not in a danger that you classify them as, but a danger to shake up politics. And I'll tell you why. It's because they don't have boomers supporting them. They have the young Americans.
Really, tell me, Bernie Sanders is their leader.
I know, but
but he's a baby boomer.
Behind Bernie Sanders, there's a Zoran. There's a lady in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and you know what they are? Children, like you. How old's Zohan Mamdani?
His name is Zoran Mamdani.
Zohan. How old is Zohan? How old is he?
He's in his early 30s.
Yeah,
as well.
He's a kid.
And he has a better approval rating than Netanyahu and Donald Trump. So that should tell you something.
Among who? Among whom? Muslims? I'm sure he does.
New York is actually a Jewish city.
No, it's not. It's not a Jewish city.
New York has the second most Jews in the world.
The second most Jews?
Tel Aviv.
Oh, my goodness. The second most Jews after Tel Aviv? You obviously haven't been to Boca. Florida has. We have the South. I know. Hear this? Oh my goodness. Yes. All right. Oh my goodness.
Oh, is it time for you to hang up, buddy? You can't have an intelligent conversation, can you?
I don't have conversations with Nazis.
Oh, so you just don't talk to
Nazis
to debate them.
I don't debate Nazis. No, you're still on.
See, that's the thing.
You're still on.
But usually you hang it up as soon as you just get into a disagreement.
No, no. Not only are you someone who suffers from the bigotry of ageism, anti-Semitism. Did I mention ageism? But you're also a narcissist. You suffer from narcissism. When I let you go, it's because I've got to take a commercial break, which is scheduled. I'm already late for the break, keeping you on. It's not about me being afraid of you or run because you got me on the ropes. You're just, ageism, Nazism, and narcissism. You've got the trifecta. Your parents must be so proud.
There's a lot of accusations and all.
No, those aren't accusations. Those are observations.
No, those are accusations.
Observations.
I have nothing wrong with older politicians, but when it gets to a point...
Let me ask you, when this phone call ends, what's on your... Excuse me. When this phone call ends, what's on your agenda for the rest of the day?
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. That's what I thought. No job. No life. No plans. No wife. No kids. No job. Oh, my goodness. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, my goodness.
All Your Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your Oldies forecast.
Periods of clouds and sunshine, good chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Daytime high in the middle 90s with a heat advisory for Palm Beach County from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. And tonight, clouds breaking up in the overnight low in the upper 70s.
Hey, how's it going?
Sunday,
Hey, do you have anything in particular?
chance of showers and thunderstorms high Saturday and Sunday into the lower 90s. The overnight lows in the upper 70s.
Okay.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling.
Okay.
Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with
Good.
same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com
Oh, wait,
to schedule
loser.
your service today. And remember,
Loser.
the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Disabled vehicle in the roadway in St. Lucie
If you want to call me
That's
about that, dude, they can all hear us, so I don't want to talk about it now. But if you want to call me about it, call me or have Jenny call me.
I was going to text you yesterday, but I never know what time to text you.
Anytime.
Well,
People text me day and night.
It was like 4:30. I said, I texted him. I maybe sleeping.
I get texts day and night.
You turned it off, though, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll forget and have it on Do Not Disturb for like 4 days. You know?
I've done that.
Yeah.
I thought when you turn your Apple phone off, I got Apple now. I used to have, Samsung.
Never stops
When you
with
turn
high
it
hands
off,
every 15 minutes, every
but
day
anyway,
from 9
you turn
a.m.
it
to
off. I
midnight,
thought
plus
no
a
messages.
$15,000 cash.
Yeah, they still come through.
So you have to turn it off.
Yeah.
Weekends.
But then I do the same thing. I
For the
forget
$10
it.
Yeah.
poker party Friday, July 31st, it's a great way for beginners to experience tournament play. Bet small and win
I'm just
big
tired
with
today,
table
man.
games like
Running around
Ultimate Texas
Oh, yeah.
or
Oh,
3-card
And the
poker.
heat.
Just a
Miami, my wife
$5
with the
minimum
doctor.
all
Oh,
day,
that's a
every
drive.
day. For more information, go to
Do you go to 95 or 70? Oh, the Golden Glades. My wife's doctor's in Miami Beach.
You know, Jamie, a lot of people missed the tax deadline on April
The drive.
15th.
Once you get through the Golden Glades,
for
it's a
them
little
to
better,
file,
but
but they may have with the new tax
Miami.
code a huge refund coming
Oh,
that they're
yeah.
leaving on the table,
Right down
right?
University of Miami. That's where she's going.
If
The
you
doctors
haven't
are
filed
wonderful.
your taxes and you
Oh, that's the end of 90.
you're
That's pretty
worried
far
about
down.
penalties or late
Exit
fees,
3A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you are
But when you go
anticipating
back,
a refund,
it's
give
so
me a
weird.
call.
Going there
There's
takes
a
forever.
good chance
Getting
there
back,
is
it's
a
like
substantial
next
amount of money
65
left on
miles
the
before you get
table
off your
for
exit.
you.
Boom, you're
Yeah.
right there.
Again,
Yeah.
this is your money. You worked hard for
Where you
it.
live in Lauderdale?
Give me a call
No, Boca.
anytime.
Oh, Boca.
Jamie Lee back at Swift Tax.
Yeah, and remember, Jamie Levac can help you with your taxes no matter where you are located in the United States.
So what I do is I take
Give
the
him a call right now,
turnpike
954
to
773
the Golden Glades. You go by the Dolphin Stadium. That saves off a lot of time.
773
I might do that next time.
1587.
Yeah.
Now, back to the Steve
Yeah.
Kane Show
The
with
Dolphins,
Brian Craig.
that's crazy. The Dolphins.
Oh, they.
9 years on the air.
All right, which pod is it? Okay, there we go. All right, Joe Thomas is in studio. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Great.
You know, I want to talk a couple things about annuities. I wanted to talk to you about because annuities are life-changing things for people. They really are. And you know, one of the things we've talked about the last couple times you were here was about how getting this extra income stream every month, the same day, every month, deposited into your account. And you know, I talked to people who are listeners that are clients of yours, and the relief that they have that money's coming in every month. But you were telling me last time, and this is what I was curious about. Not everybody wants or needs income right now.
True.
Right. So, I've always thought of annuities from our discussions as being a way to have an income stream instead of you know. But what are annuities about that don't have the income stream, and why do people do that?
Sure. So number one, we have fixed annuities that work just like a CD at a bank. So you buy a CD at a bank, you put let's use $100,000. It's easy. You put $100,000 in. Our rate right now, we've got a 5.5% fixed rate.
Yeah.
So that's $5,500 a year interest.
Wow.
You can either take it or you can let it build in the account.
Wow.
If you let it build in the account, it's tax deferred. So that's one way fixed. The other way is you can index it to an index like the S&P 500. If the index goes up, your money goes up. However, if the market goes down, that index goes down, you stay the same. You never lose.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. So that's for somebody who says to me, hey, Joe, I want to build my money. I want growth. And I don't want income now, but I want income later.
Are there any tax benefits to that?
Sure, and tax deferral is a big deal. The more taxes you save, the more money you make. You know, I've had arguments with people. Tax deferral doesn't help me. Of course it helps you. That's what an IRA does for you.
Yeah.
If you don't have to pay taxes for 30 years,
exactly.
You're earning more money.
That's right.
And you can do the same thing with just a regular annuity, a non-qualified, we call it non-IRA annuity. You can put money here and not pay tax on it for a long, long time.
Saving taxes is making money.
Well,
as far as I'm concerned.
If you're in a 12% tax bracket, you save 12% of your money.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
By not paying tax. If you're in 15, it's 15.
Now, another thing, too, I was listening to your show this week, and you brought up something that was interesting. I never really thought about it like this before. Maybe you could talk a little bit about this. There's stages of retirement, right? There's different ages, which I can't remember what you said. There were 3.
62, 65, 67.
So 62 is somebody that wants to retire as soon as they can get Social Security.
Yep, they need it.
And then 65.
65, you get Medicare. So
Okay.
you want to, that's a number that, hey, you want to get Medicare, you want to stop, paying your health insurance,
Oh, yeah.
And then 67, full retirement age for Social Security, and you're not taxed on the Social Security income.
Mine's
anymore.
70.
70. That's because you're younger than us.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I wish it was 67.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. So when it comes to annuities, what's the difference for people in those age brackets? Like if you have a client 62, 65, 67, or 70,
Right.
what's the difference in what
The
what you do
difference
for 'em?
is when they want to take income. Just like when do you want to take Social Security? Because I have people walk in at 62. They say, hey, I'm done. I'm turning on my Social Security this month. I need an annuity for income. I want to take my IRA or 401k and turn it into an income stream, Joe.
Yeah.
I need to live the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if you can do it at 62. Most people at 65 and 67. Those are just the ages that most people retire.
Well, a lot of people that are seniors that are working still, that really don't want to work, they've taken it early
Yes.
and they've taken it early and they have the job because they need the money.
Well,
right?
and now because of President Trump with this $12,000 deduction,
Yeah.
you don't have to pay tax on your Social Security. Now, this is going to last until the end of his term, and hopefully it keeps
Yes.
going. But I have people that have come in my office where they were paying $6,000 to the IRS.
Crazy.
Now they're getting a refund of $6,000.
First of all, the idea that the government takes that money from you, every paycheck you get your entire life, and they hold on to it, and they can do whatever they want with the money, and then they want to tax you on it when they give you your own money back at the end. I always thought that was crooked anyway.
It is, and Social Security needs to be redeveloped. Let's put it that way. You need to be able to invest your money. If you want to put it in the market, you should be able to do that with your Social Security money.
Well, the way I've come to understand annuities, and this is from our discussions, is that it's a pension plan you've given yourself, is what it is, right? So with the annuity, your money's never at risk, and if you take the income annuity, that you get that, it's just like your Social Security check. It goes into your bank account the same day every month forever, right? So you have a pension plan.
Mailbox money every month for the rest of your life. And when you pass away, your spouse, if you're married, your husband or wife gets that same check, the same amount, not a reduced amount, for the rest of their life.
And that's, this thing about fixed income. See, to me, fixed income is an awesome thing if the fix is enough.
Right.
So you've got your Social Security, you've got your spouse's Social Security, maybe you have some savings, maybe you have some investment plan, and then you got your annuity. You're set.
Yeah, and we were talking the last time it was on about turning your properties into income.
Well,
let's
that's
say you have
a
a
big
rental.
one.
Yeah, let's say you have a rental property and you're done. You get to a certain age. We'll talk about the guy talking about age, how old you should be.
Did you hear these guys? They want to.
I mean, but you get to a point where no matter what your age is, you may be tired of dealing with all the stress of rental properties, and you say, "Hey, Joe, how do I turn this money from this rental property into income with an annuity?"
Well, you know what, though? That also goes to, a home. For most people, your house is the largest investment you'll ever make.
Absolutely.
But it's an investment that most people don't take advantage of. Right? And I know a lot of seniors, they'll say, well, let me go the reverse mortgage route. But if you're downsizing, or maybe you have a house and you're moving into a condo, that's the time to take what you've earned off that house and put it into an annuity.
Absolutely. I was playing golf with a guy the other day, and he was a consultant, very big consultant. I mean, he charged people, companies, hundreds of thousands of dollars for his consulting. And you know what he said to me? He said, Joe, one of the things I always said to people was, you know what you know.
Yeah.
If you don't know about annuities, you should.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're 62, 65, 67, 70, you need to know about annuities to turn your money into income for the rest of your life. Or gain principal, build your money, and wealth turns into wealth for your family if that's what you're so inclined to do.
Exactly. And most people, they tend to downsize. I don't know, downsize. They tend to either move into a 55 community, a condo. The kids are grown. They don't need the 4 bedrooms anymore.
Right.
And then you've made all that money on your house. And let me tell you, you've made a lot of money because you're in Florida.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, houses have doubled. Or more.
Exactly. And people, and you are house rich. And you can, and by the way, since you're moving into a smaller house or a condo, your kids still have the home to inherit.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I have clients that come in, they have to sell their home. They have to move to Tennessee or Georgia and buy something less. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Well,
listen, there's something for everyone. And, when you call Joe Thomas, take advantage of this no-charge consultation. And remember, Joe Thomas is going to put together a custom proposal for you based on your situation. And you can see there are infinite combinations of situations donations, give Joe Thomas a call, 561-743-0999, 561-743-0999, and online, JupiterJoe.com. All right, Joe, we'll talk soon.
Thank
you
you,
take
Brian.
care. All right, let's go to the phones, and we'll break in a moment. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is James again. from
No,
Ohio.
it's James. It's one call per show, man. But I'll let you go again since you're on. Yeah, absolutely, it's one call per show. You kidding me? Come on.
I just love your show so much, bud. Damn, I'm sorry.
I know this is the best show ever. I get it. I know. It doesn't get better than this.
I actually like watching your show because I can see like the mind framing of MAGA. But really quickly,
The mind framing of MAGA.
What is MAGA going to do in 2 years when Trump leaves office? What is
Okay? Well, okay. I hold on a second. What are we going to do? Okay. Well, first off, don't assume Trump's going to be gone from office in 2 years. He was talking about running again just the other day.
Oh, so he's going to illegally do a third term? That's what you?
Not illegally, no. We could change the laws, but I'll say this, and then I got to let you go because it's only one call per show. Okay, you can call every day, but only once per show. You're new to the show,
You just
so
said you were going to let me go.
I'm going to say this and let you go. Yeah, absolutely, because it's one call per show. But since you're new, I'm giving you a break. Okay.
Well, you can't run on anti-Semitism. You can't run.
Okay. All right, just
everybody's
slow down. What are you in such a hurry? You're not going to work. You already said you don't have a job. Okay, so what are you in such a rush for? Okay.
I never said
This
that.
is all right. I'm done. He's getting upset. You know what that? You know why? You know why he's getting upset? Because I sound like his dad or his mom. When are you gonna go to work? Right? Mom and dad are at work, and he's sitting at home watching me and listening to me. Now listening to me is certainly productive, but you can listen to me while you work. All right, let's check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated for today's Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Metals looking lower after nice rallies yesterday, taking gold above $4,100. Gold trading in a range yesterday at $4,028 all the way up to $4,120. And closing out the day up $37.40 at $4,102.60 the ounce. Silver gained $1.36 at $58.88, still having a struggle to get above $60. And platinum was up $45 at $16.54, and palladium gained $62 at $1,300. So the markets are still in these trading ranges that we've been locked in. Gold trying to stay above 4,100. We need a breakout of about $4,120 an ounce for a couple of days to get the market moving to the upside. But in the meantime, they keep the lid on it right around these levels, so it gives us a buying opportunity today. Gold down $59.10 at $4,043.50. Silver at $57.51 the ounce. That's down $1.38. Platinum down $19 at $1,635. And palladium down $31 at $1,269 the ounce. So markets continue to be trading in these ranges. Oil over $85 a barrel, and the U.S. dollar slightly higher this morning after being lower yesterday.
Yeah, and when we have these sales on the metals like today, these are some of probably the busiest days at William Youngerman's. And if you see a price you like, and before you head over, call William Youngerman and lock in that price. He opens up at 10 a.m., 800-327-5010, 800-327-5010. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And find both his phone number and address online at williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, have a great weekend. We'll talk on Monday.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
All right, take care. Do we have a recorded break? All right, we'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, it's Dr. Philip Appleton. You've been hearing my commercials about my pain, my laser weight treatment, but today's commercial and today's spot is going to be on Tom Laporta Roofing. What an experience I've had with him and his company. They've done a few of my friends' houses and my son and my house. There's never a downtime. They're old school, which means call them up, they'll be there. How many many times have you called somebody up and they never show up, or they give you an excuse? Weather, traffic, whatever. Tom Laporta, what a class act. The workmanship, the magnificent teamwork they have, I recommend them 100%.
Give Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing a call. This number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. He covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. 954-604-4602. LaportaRoofing.com. They'll never sell you a roof you don't need. When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs.
Oh my goodness.
Any lab test now of Boca, their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now of Boca at any lab test now of Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now of Boca at any lab test now of Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All righty, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian Craig. It's Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I want to talk about Dr. Appleton, where appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. All right, he has Saturday hours, and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. Dr. Appleton and his laser wave pain treatment, it's changed my life because he's given me my life back. You know, all of the pains that you hear me talk about, I still would have had those injuries, accidents, arthritis, the knee, all that stuff, right? Except I didn't know Dr. Appleton, so I'd still be suffering. And let me tell you, when you're in pain, when you have a chronic pain, because I had it in my knee, you know, my arthritis, it's beyond just the physical pain. It makes you tired. It makes you tired. You just want to go to sleep. You just want to go to sleep because just because you want the pain to be gone. With Dr. Appleton's robotic laser wave pain treatment, he rid me of pain 7 times. None of the pains have returned. Arthritis pain, over 20 years of suffering, 30 years really, in my right knee from a car accident I was in years ago where I was a passenger, falling off my skateboard. The arthritis was so bad in my hand, and Dr. Appleton asked me if I couldn't describe how it felt. It hurt so bad. He says, "Does it feel like a bolt of electricity going through?" I said, "Exactly. That's what arthritis feels like." Can't wait. All right, yeah, I know. It happens. But Dr. Appleton's robotic laser treats the arthritis too. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710, and online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, time is short, and I got a couple things here I got to get in. Scott Jennings, he really screwed up with that fake phone call to Mitch McConnell, the 17-minute phone call and all of that. And you know, he said he talked to him for 17 minutes. Who says that? Oh, I talked to him for about 20 minutes. I've never heard the 17th letter of the alphabet is Q. And a lot of people think that was an SOS, right? You know, like in Vietnam, they captured, what was the name of that ship where they captured all the sailors in Vietnam at the beginning of the war? And they did an interview, and they all said hello to their dead grandparents. And just to tell you how sick the liberal media are, they took the VC took a group picture, and they all gave the middle finger. But the North Vietnamese didn't know what the middle finger meant. But oh yeah, liberal media told them, and then they tortured them. But a lot of people think that like those guys with the middle finger or saying hello to their dead grandparents back home, that the 17 minutes was a signal that he was a hostage. But what Scott Jennings of CNN, what it's become is the thrill down the leg moment with Chris. Do you know this thrill down the leg thing? Oh, this was the best. I'm really short on time, and I have one more spot to do. So, but I'll get this all out real quick, okay? This was hilarious. Chris Matthews, liberal jerk. He was on MSNBC, and he was the dean of MSNBC at the time. After Obama's first State of the Union speech, he said on the air live, his immediate reaction was, I get a thrill down my leg every time I hear President Obama speak. I mean, what kind of man gets a thrill down their leg when they hear another man speak? And that was a long time ago. That was like 16 years ago. Still today, people bring that up to Chris Matthews, and he gets really ticked off. And the 17-minute phone call is the thrill down the leg moment for Scott Jennings. So he's on Caitlin Collins last night, and one of the Democrats is on the panel with him and called him out on this. Before I play that, I'm going to do my last spot so I can make sure I play the whole clip, okay, guys? That was not a tease to get you to hold through. I just want to make sure that I get the spot in, and then I'll play the clip, okay? I want to talk about life imaging, and this is so, so important, okay? I want you to think about this for a second. Out of everyone you've known in your family or personal life throughout your life who had a heart attack, did you ever say or hear anyone say, oh, John had a heart attack, Grandma had a heart attack, Dad had a heart attack yesterday, we knew it was coming? I've never heard that. What I've heard, whether they survived the heart attack or not, it's, I can't believe it. Had no idea. He was at the gym 4 days a week. He went golfing twice a week. In the middle of the day, in the hot sun. We had no idea. I've never heard someone say, well, we knew it was coming. Never. That's why you want to go to life imaging. And there's no excuse not to do it. They have locations in Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade, as well as Orlando. Call Life Imaging for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. And when you're over there, make sure you ask about their full body cancer screening and their full body virtual colonography, and say goodbye to sedation. All right, so here's Scott Jennings getting called out. They want him to call live on CNN, on Caitlin Collins' show, Mitch McConnell. Listen, I hope we have time. We have time. We have time for this. I'm sure we do.
Scott, can I ask you, because you actually were invoked the other night on the show about your former boss, Senator Mitch McConnell. Have you spoken to him recently on the phone?
No, I haven't spoken.
Oh, don't tell me it froze up after all that buildup. I just lost the connection. Can you believe that? Oh, my goodness. Let me go back. Here we go.
No, I haven't spoken to him. I talked to him early on, and I'm in touch with his office, but I haven't spoken to him recently.
Do we want to FaceTime him? No? Okay.
Okay, on that note, Scott Jennings, Karen Finney, thank you both for being here. Up next, we have Donnie O'Sullivan.
Wow, okay. Scott Jennings is in big trouble, okay? When the liberal pundit said, do you want to FaceTime him? Here's the phone. And Scott Jennings just sat there and said nothing. Said nothing. Okay? Now, I don't expect him to call him live on the air unannounced. However, he could arrange a pre-recorded call with at least his Chinese handler wife, okay, from the CCP, and get him for just a few seconds on a video call on Zoom. And, you know, it's so interesting. The thing you got to understand with Scott Jennings is this, okay? And I like him on CNN. He goes after all these Democrats and humiliates them all the time. But you got to remember, he's a Kentucky Republican, and those Kentucky Republicans are all snakes. Mitch McConnell, Rand Paul. Rand Paul did good the other day with Fauci, but he's always undermining Trump. He's always undermining us. He's always causing problems, Rand Paul. And Mitch McConnell, well, he's always caused problems like he is now in a different way. And Scott Jennings came up through the Mitch McConnell Kentucky Republican Party establishment, and he also worked for the Bushes. And I think we have passed, if we haven't passed it yet, we've gotten past the special election requirement, and soon we're going to be past the governor nomination process. And they've been writing this out to stop the Save America Act from being passed. And Scott Jennings, they called in a favor. Well, I don't know if they called in a favor or gave him an order, but he did something really stupid for his establishment friends, and this is something that he's not going to be able to live down. That second photograph that came out of Mitch McConnell earlier this week, it looks like AI as well. If you look at the two photographs of Mitch McConnell, the one that came out this week and the one from a couple weeks ago, they're in the same spot, same location, different shirt, but the wrinkles on the shirt and the shoulder on the chest are the same as in the original. There's all kinds of questioning, and I don't think he's passed away, because then we would know. But he's hanging on by a thread, and he's probably brain dead, as Laura Loomer reported. And Scott Jennings got himself involved with a scandal, and he did something stupid. But I'll tell you, I'm glad Scott Jennings did it, because now we know, right? He basically, what he did is he outed himself, and he's working for them like John Roberts on the Supreme Court works for them, and others. All right, well, listen, guys, that's all the time we have. I got the clip in, I got the spot in, we got everything in, and we still have 10 seconds. Listen, guys, take care. The end of the show is here. We'll see you Monday morning at 6 a.m. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Have a great weekend. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. See you Monday, 6. All right, guys, take care. And thanks for watching.